Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Salon for All and Voice for All Network Television. I am your host, Khadija Tijan Nabi. Today we get health topic having to do with the Ebola. We don't go through the Ebola epidemic, of course, hepatitis, different type of hepatitis, and how it affects Sierra Leoneans them, and then also with the land with mental health. But before that, make I just do this disclaimer. Now we Queen's language. This message serve as a disclaimer. United for Salon and Salon for All, Voice for All Network Television executive members are not medical experts. We're here to sensitize and share educational material as a form of awareness. Once again, this serves as a disclaimer. All materials used in this session are only used or designed to educate and share as a form of awareness for the various community where Sierra Leoneans and beyond the Sierra Leone community, Sierra Leonean find themselves, and also folks, viewers, and listeners beyond the Sierra Leone community. Once again, this message serves as a disclaimer. We also encourage our viewers to visit the Center for Disease Control, the Mayo Clinic, WHO, all credible websites where you can get credible information having to do with health topic or whatever discussion we will be having today with our panelists. Despite the fact of whatever background we have, today we will still use the word, we still use a disclaimer. We are also encouraging our viewers and participants of this platform to contact the primary physician should in case they have any medical concern for further evaluation and instruction. As the saying goes, all size does not fit all size does not fit everyone. So having said that, whatever discussion we have here today, we will not be held responsible, and we do not want you to quote us and hold us responsible. We encourage you once again to contact your primary care physician for further instruction and evaluation should in case you find yourself in any of this or you find signs and symptoms that may be related to you per se. Do not hold us accountable, but rather follow up with your medical doctor for the instruction. If you have any medical emergency, we advise you that you contact your local emergency line for immediate help and for the instruction. Once again, welcome to Salon for All and Voice for All Network Television. I am your host, Khadija Tijan Nabi. Please help us share far and wide. Make we join voice. When they come back to we local frankers, we all man more comfortable with. Once again, today we come and talk about three significant health issues them. One of which, now the Ebola epidemic will we be experienced in the Republic in 2014. We also get the statement out where they say also it surfaced again at the Republic of Guinea. But before we do all that, we also decide for give a disclaimer wherein that we will not be held accountable for any, despite we medical background, whether we deal with a medical assistant today, we deal with a PA or a doctor, whatever the case may be, we don't want to hold yourself accountable. If you find yourself in any of this, what we discussed today, maybe signs or symptoms of the illness that we talk about today, please take up on yourself, contact your doctor for now do further evaluation, or now go give you further instruction as to how you go about forget the treatment we deserve. But please not hold we accountable. We go here and for now we able for come in, we join voice and see how we go able for with the little or 2 cents what we get or 5 cents what we get or 3 cents what we get. We put them together in effort for now bless with various community will find ourselves or the Republic as a whole, or worldwide, not limited to only the Sierra Leone community. Once again, and I welcome with the camera, make acknowledging that the wonderful Mr. Arun Pape, welcome, sir. Madam Cynthia Kamara, welcome. Madam Cynthia Kamara, welcome. Mr. Muhammad Fona, welcome. Mr. George Walker, welcome. Mr. Sulaiman Bundu, welcome. Mr. Almami Kamara, welcome. Anybody else we then at the background we not necessarily say anything, welcome in each and every one of you. Will they come right back here? Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Salon for All and Voice for All Network Television, where every voice matters. I am your host, Khadija Tijan Nabi. Always ready and determined to bring you current events from home and abroad. What to expect, wide focus or range of topics from political, family, relationship, empowerment, breaking news, both local and international, emergency topics, entertainment, both local and international, comedy, event affecting our various communities, political debate, educational session, exclusive interview with either local or international celebrities or high profile, showcasing up and coming artists, entrepreneurs, philanthropists. If it is happening, we're here to be that voice and the network to show it. If you have a story, let's share it, build it, and show it. Let us be your voice. Stay tuned to Salon for All and Voice for All Network Television for more. Do not forget to subscribe to our Facebook page, our YouTube page, our Instagram page, and our Twitter page. And also feel free to visit our website. We thank you all for being part of the Salon for All Network family. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Salon for All and Voice for All Network Television. I am your host, Khadija Tijan Nabi. A friendly reminder on behalf of Salon for All and Voice for All Network Television to remind us about our recent outbreak of Ebola in the Republic of Guinea. Salon for All and Voice for All encourage everyone to take all necessary precaution in efforts to save lives. We're also encouraging everyone to adhere to all necessary health tips coming from the Center for Disease Control, WHO, just to name few. We will do our very best to update the general public the news unfold. Once again, we want to thank you for your time and encourage you to adhere to all health tips surrounding the Ebola outbreak in the Republic of Guinea.
To have infected a small boy in the West African nation of Guinea with the Ebola virus, leading to a regional epidemic that eventually killed more than 11,000 people. An Ebola outbreak has once again been declared in Guinea. I've been getting more details from George Kizerbo, the head of the World Health Organization in the country.
An outbreak was declared by the Guinean government in the prefecture of Nzerekore. 7 cases have been reported so far, of which, unfortunately, 3 of the cases died, and 3 of the 7 cases were also tested in the lab, and the results of the lab testing came positive for Ebola. So based on that, the government has declared a new Ebola outbreak, and the WHO and other partners have also activated the support.
Do you have any sense yet of the origin of this latest outbreak?
No, a team is investigating around the first cases. the region was also at the start of the 2014 to 2016 outbreak, but it is too soon to elaborate on the exact sources. So the investigation is ongoing, and more data and more intelligence will be gathered.
How concerning is this news?
This news has been perceived as very concerning from both the national authorities but also the partners. But at the same time, we must say that we have learned lessons from the previous Ebola outbreak. And in addition to the 2014 to 2016 outbreak in West Africa, the outbreaks in DRC have also helped in bringing innovations, including in terms of diagnostics with rapid diagnostic tests, and also the vaccines, and also even new treatments that could be used this time with the experience from the previous outbreak to try and contain as quickly as possible.
This taking place during a pandemic, the coronavirus pandemic, what impact does that have on the likelihood of keeping this under control, and also on the public health messaging that you need to do now that Ebola is out there as well?
I think this is a very important issue, but we are responding to, actually sending in our teams specialists in communication, risk communication, community engagement, sensitization. We'll be also working with national and local influencers and leaders at community level so that the messages both for Ebola and for COVID-19 are clearly passed to the communities.
That was Georges Kizerbo from the WHO in Guinea.
Yes, so thanks. Before I go into that, let me just give you the latest update. We've had a fourth death. That means 4 people have now died and 115 people are being investigated, according to health authorities. Now, as to what is being done by these people, by the health authorities, Dr. Sakoba Keita, the head of the National Health Agency, has been speaking to the press, and this is what he had to say.
We call on the people, especially those who participated in that funeral ceremony, not to panic. They should simply walk to the nearest health centre to get themselves registered, so that when our teams arrive in their area, they can simply be vaccinated against the disease. I call on all the people in Gweke and Zerekore who were in contact with the nurse that died and who took part in the burial, just to report to our medical staff in their respective areas.
And Al-Hassan, what efforts are underway at the moment to try to contain this epidemic?
Well, as we speak, a delegation comprising local doctors, people from the WHO, the CDC, and all these other humanitarian organizations, they've all gone to the affected area there in Gweke and in Zerekure. And I think, according to Dr. Sakoba Keita, their first mission will be to identify what kind of variant this is. And once they know what it is, I think we're also told that vaccines are on their way, so that they would know which kind of vaccine to give to the infected persons. Other than that, we've been told to be very careful, because this is a person-to-person transmission, and so that everybody should be very aware. We should go back to basics, if you will, because in 2013 through 2016 we had this Ebola virus again, and that people should just remember what they did during those times, and they should continue to do that in order to forestall the spread.
And how likely is that to be the case? Because you just talk about people being told to be very careful, but as you yourself have reported during this global pandemic with coronavirus, face masks and social distancing are all but obvious.
Yeah, I insist that Guinea is just lucky because we've not been, this Ebola thing has just now been compounded by the coronavirus as well. But we've not been fully respecting some of the things that the WHO or the Ministry of Health here has been asking us to do, especially in the area of face masks. People have actually forgotten about face masks in this country. And this is also a country where they have 1 form of celebration or another every day. People crowd together. There's no social distancing. So basically, I mean, it remains to be seen what happens here. But what I can say on the part of the authorities, they are really, really keen on ensuring that this new Ebola virus does not spread beyond where it is right now.
Okay, Al Hassan Silla, we'll leave it there live in Conakry in Guinea. Thank you very much. Now,
Greetings once again. Welcome to Salon for All and Voice for All Network Television. I am your host, Khadija Tijan Nabi. Wonderful guests, they run a bit late, but having said that, we go right ahead and plan to with today's discussion. We see Miss Victoria already. I see they get everything settled. You just pop up on the screen. Anyway, having said that, all welcome to Salon for All and Voice for All Network Television. Make us start with Chief, Mr. Chief Alhaji Tonkala. Come on in, sir, and introduce yourself. Welcome.
Okay, yes, thank you, Khadija. I'm delighted to be here. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all of you guys across the world. Khadija, to be honest, this is a privilege, and I'll make sure I'll make use of it. And yes, my name is Chief Alhaji Tonkala from the UK. Well, my background is in law, because tonight what we are discussing is trying to policy. So I think I have the expertise to make my views heard on this issue that have been highlighted. And I'm based in the UK. I'm also a politician. I'm a current presidential aspirant for the All People's Congress in a nutshell. So, Khadija, this is who I am.
Welcome. So, having said that, I will definitely bring you back so that we can talk about your political interest and what you're aspiring for on another day. Having said that, welcome. Once and plenty thank you where you take time out of your busy schedule for honor the invitation. Yes. Now we go now and land to Madam or Mrs. Victoria. Come in. Yes, ma'am. Welcome, madam. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Please introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Victoria Overcomer. I am a nurse practitioner here in the United States with my family. I also own a clinic. My husband and we own a clinic doing primary care here in Columbus, Ohio. So I have many children. I'm a mother and a wife.
I love that. You know what? I feel very comfortable. Again, I would just imagine within a Freetown, the capital city, or within one of the beaches, just to get a good time. So please feel free. This is home for you. Please feel free. And again, I can add to that. I look at Miss Victoria as one of the patriotic Sierra Leonean, a brave woman. We're happy to be part of this platform. Where at some point we've been to get a topic having to do with some critical concern having to do with Sierra Leone. Where you call in and say, you know what's in? How about ain't not be aware say we can do health topic here. So it suggests say it would nice for now to do health topic. I said yes, of course. We have a broad focus here. Some days it can be marital, it can be relationship, blah blah blah, it can be health, it can be politics, it can be current affairs. So bravo to you, madam, bravo to you. This platform is always yours, and we'll make sure say take it upon yourself and use it to the very best of your ability and bless the world with what God don't bless you. So welcome once again.
Thank you.
You're welcome, madam. Now we start right with the very top. The reason why this will not be added to a actual agenda, but it is vital that we talk about them because given the obvious of what we go through 2014, we suffer under that diagnosed with what we refer to as Ebola, the Ebola epidemic in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. And on this platform, or combined with the United for Salon, when our non-profit organization, we don't talk about it on several countless occasions, and also we revisit them back again in 2018 and 2019 when we get a case in the Republic of Congo where then we get another relapse, if that's the lack of better term, and then most recent we don't see what's in the going at the Republic of Guinea. So we can start with that, and then we also go discuss some of the signs and symptoms. I don't know, I will bring you come Nick, allow you for now you come in, Mrs. Victoria, overcoming, come on in, and now we start with that one, with the Ebola epidemic or the Ebola as a whole.
Okay, thank you, Khadija, for where you bring it. I mean, it's timely for we bring this topic because we all understand waiting with people that go through 2014, whether you lost a loved one or even for we will be there outside. Yeah, so just by seeing the pictures or the videos, then where how people then suffer, and then the ignorance of the people then this time is just it timely for, like I say, timely for we talk about even as we talk about the topic where we go talk about today, the hepatitis. So Ebola is very important because we know the damage, we know how many people that were being died the last time, how much it affects the economy of the country, not only Sierra Leone and the neighboring countries then. And even for we were in America, so we know what how it affects we as well as Africans, especially if you come on Africa, you did in America, or you come on a country where any of the countries that were affected, we know how emotionally it affects we. So I'm glad the way you add this topic to this program today.
Wonderful. So one of which way I want to just touch on, I think where you say it affects we suffered in the hands of the one that way maybe lack of better term way can put you in the category of stigmatization. When they hear the word Africa, they already don't conclude, say, well, possibility say they work out with Ebola. So we all suffer that, whether you live, I don't know about United Kingdom, maybe you go educate me on that one, but yes, I believe, say, I went through that unfortunate stigma as well. So before we go into the detail of some of the things that I want to present to we viewers them, and I believe so we all go join voice for do the same thing. I want to bring Mr. Chief Alhaji Tonkala name safe give and take on the Ebola epidemic. Come on in, sir. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Khadija. This is a very massive opportunity for create awareness to people then. This current Ebola suspicion we get from Conakry, Guinea, I feel say this currently what we get with a blessing we don't get before in terms of logistics. When the Ebola be hit with 2014-15, we were not prepared. The Ebola tested our medical sector in nearly crumble. But God in blessing and leadership that we will get, then stand up and confront them and even for exterminate them. So that will happen. So currently, what we get before, ambulance is enough, right? The awareness, people they know say that Ebola, they don't have history, they know the disaster it cause. So we are now prepared mentally as citizens of Sierra Leone. So that's for we are facing applause. But what you mean we talk now, I hope the government listen. We get policies there. Now more will visit all the Ebola centers in the country. Let's get them prepared. Let's start checking people at our porous borders, at the airport. Let's start checking people. Not always say, oh, Salado discovered 2 or 3 cases and stuff like that. They will start to act. Let's try to be proactive. Let's start acting now. More try to collaborate. The health sector will talk to the finance. They talk to the welfare. They will talk to each other. Many staff will have meetings. Let's set up an Ebola task force. Now the east, now the south, now the north, now the west. Let's don't wait till the 11th hour they will start acting. That's what we call them reactive. We have to be proactive. We know losing one life of any surrender, it means a lot to me. Let alone losing thousands of them. We don't see what the COVID-19, the disaster will cause. And one thing where I feel say the country for commend me with the diasporans, now we be the bread back for that country. Now we the same money because they been there for lockdown. Now we the same money. Now we the remit for support the country for support the country finances. In terms of the Ebola struck, right? Because the Ebola actually collapsed the economy, nearly collapsed the economy, right? So if that's the case, we already say about 3 cases in quarantine, we need to start act fast. And another thing we will neglect, where it is still paid me while for talk to the ears of the government, now medical practitioners, especially nurses, their payment. Let's more look after them because they are the front workers, they are the frontline workers. Now they go fight this is a war. So that they go there at the front line for somebody they die. I remember I even lost one of my brother when I met Dr. Kuruba and Alosa. He died. He also finished in American school. He died. Doing Ebola. Young man, he don't finish, he don't even get nothing from benefit from the hard work which he do at school. He passed away during the Ebola. He died. Young doctor. You see, what we'll learn from what you that to the country and how we'll do better this time, more time mitigate the problem. That's very important. Let the government know say, or reach out to the opposition parties, or reach out to civil society, or reach out to all the stakeholders there. Men work together. Once leadership, once the president make time to assist, make fight this war. The Ebola will know what to be caused that alone. So please bear that appeal. We'll get logistic a bit. We'll get logistic. I know we don't say the medicine. We'll get WHO. They will assist. But what to get after the ambulance them and what in Africa, the ambulance they don't distribute them across all the provinces. So also get ambulance. So let's see if we get drivers there for drive the ambulance to ambulance. And what else are the advice to the government? Let's get ambulances now the border. Anything will happen now, that first we get the cases the go take a shade of hospital and quarantine. That's so the fighter. More fight this Ebola at community level. Any community will say suspect case day, let that community be quarantined, and normally quarantine them will not help them. That will feed it because some people work, but you know we don't only quarantine they will not feed them. And another last one for put toward this issue, sanitation. Because Ebola they breed outside of today. They breed outside of today. So more try for provide water tanks them. Now most communities them. So if anybody now knows that water, we need water for sanitation because if we get an hospital no get water, that's a joke. So let's say the hospital they get water, then they get light, just in case anything can happen. Let's be prepared for this we have and ask God make it all kind of alone. So if I so far make allow you for coming. Thank you very much.
Excellent, sir. Thank you so much. So, if some of you now might have been blessed or whatever we want to talk where we don't come across one of we educational audio out today where similar of some of the things then where Mr. Chief Alhaji and Mrs. Victoria overcome, they don't say make we recap some of these things where critical. One thing, the very first thing where we all agree here is that early planning. We do believe some go ask why would they hold this meeting or this broadcast. We strongly believe that early intervention and prevention or preventive measures put in place now a better chance for now we tackle them or now we minimize the lifespan where will be put in jeopardy. That is one. And critical points that way Mr. Alaji just make. Now we recap some of these. It is very important that we not look at things on a political lens or politize things that we hear. Where some them they say, oh, Ebola na carry and carry and go. Now we just be mindful. It's just like somebody will say, oh, the corona na carry and go na Sierra Leone. Now we look at things on the bigger lens, which is the we as Sierra Leonean for now we save lives and how you call them educate the Mamina Congo markets in a way where you go understand in efforts for save life again. The things that way Mr. Alhaji mentioned ambulance. I believe say now before we go to that. At that time when we get to Ebola, then you can say when you know better, you do better. Nobody know how to tackle the disease per se. But on the unfortunate experience what Ebola bring away, I do believe that we're able to be in a better place now. The example, we have sufficient ambulance across the country, and make that clear. So that is a blessing from the then administration to this administration, wherein now they will get enough or sufficient ambulance for transport patients, then God forbid if it come back again now the soil. So that is a great one. It also talk about reactive versus proactive. It is always necessary for now we stay on the proactive versus reactive, like how they can say prevention is better than cure. Before you get the disease, if you don't prevent them, it's better than where the person don't get the illness. Now you try for manage them and for now it get better. It talk about sanitation when a most I get forgive all specific, and I believe say Mrs. Overcome will come too, and Mr. Elijah will come back too. We'll give detail of some of these things that way will be as tips as to how we'll go about for tackle this or prevent it from reaching with soil, or if it come, how we'll go able for minimize the death rate. Sanitation, it talk about water tank. I also want to add to that like a bucket, like when I can say the Veronica buckets, maybe put her in place, or in them areas the way people then they travel, like we boarded from Guinea to Sierra Leone or Sierra Leone to Liberia. I believe say if we begin they force people then for wash their hand, and also I want also add hand soap. Maybe that can also help, because sometimes the microbacteria that you don't necessarily see them, or you not necessarily know, say you don't go touch something which can be harmful for the next person, where basically I will say trickle down type of attitude wherein you just spread them, so that can be another thing for put in place, or the government for put in place early now than later. And also some of the protective gear, I believe say most of them doctors and they didn't die, they were overworked, and they not been get enough maybe PP personal equipment way basically for guide them and protect them, as in the correct gown, sufficient gloves, at least then for them begin to put those things in place, should in case it break out, then get enough for them hospital. And I believe say most of the time to the cross contamination can cause a lot. If the physician not get enough gloves, maybe if he use one glove and go attend to another, use that same glove and go attend to another patient, obviously you don't already jeopardize, or you don't take whatever it is side to get, you don't care and go to now to Musa, and the list goes on. So that's another thing too we will need for put in place. And also training for them, like we are blessed here in them, whether it's United Kingdom or United States, obviously we can get trainings them where they at least guide people then at the healthcare for them to know whether it's periodically every 6 months, 3 months, 1 year, whatever the case may be, but for keep people then for them to stay on top of the or whatever the case may be, or maybe encourage the healthcare workers them for them to visit people like places like the Center for Disease Control, WHO, the Mayo Clinic, just to name some of the credible websites we will give authentic how you call them educational material will go be beneficial. So I want to pause before I say much more. We also hear the voice of Mrs. Overcomer. Come on in, and Yusuf Adion, madam, come on in.
Okay, Khadija.
Yes, ma'am.
What thing I want to say is medical the infection of viruses, different viruses, now the most threats today now the world. More than ISIS, more than Osama bin Laden in group, Al Qaeda and all.
I like that.
Health pandemic. Health pandemic now the most threat today now the world. We see how this coronavirus, waiting it do, even though we were then at the big countries then, waiting it do with and coronavirus bring America down to its knees where with all the expertise where we get, we know because we were not prepared, we see waiting it resulting, the damage where it causes. So waiting me want for say, okay, so if you look at how the second outbreak and say from Guinea, it starts with a nurse. They say a nurse died, and then people them about 6 people that were attend in funeral begin for exhibit symptoms of Ebola, and two of them people then they die. So so you see from the healthcare provider where they're not able for zero patients, they're not able to get patient zero. They're able from the healthcare, the nurse will die. How the nurse get them, they're not able to figure that out. But the nurse get them, and I believe say the reason why the nurse get them, lack of they don't get adequate equipment for PPEs for protect themselves when they go well for protect themselves. So now that's how the nurse get the Ebola, and then people that were attending funeral self get them, and so you see how. So now then they try to do contact tracing for try for trace patient zero for see how patient zero get them or and who that don't expose to them. So but again, because of waiting, then we don't learn 2014 and the lessons that we will learn 2014. Then they use then thing and they for that able for zero in this whoever wherever this Ebola started from. So now the same thing in Sierra Leone, which means so if we really with people then really get to be careful. The government really get for there on the alert because of this news because they see videos the other day. They said the border was closed between Sierra Leone and Guinea, and then they don't open them, and people they move back and forth. So this now time that how Alaji been say the government get for be alert and let them begin for set up task force them where from especially now the border of the Guinea border and who side say and Guineans and Sierra Leoneans and they travel go by they on the way they go by market back and forth. Then for set up task forces where for begin for use the mechanisms the way them they get before begin for use them then tools and they for make them for catch this because the earlier the better if they're able for take them. And then also another thing is sensitizing our people. Begin for like what thing I mean do the begin for now we get a lot of memes and where people then they listen not only in our radio, WhatsApp, almost everybody gets a smartphone now. Now the world. Even the man where they in our village, he gets a smartphone. So begin for educate people then and tell them say this don't happen. So now we go back to the things that were helpful with the last time when we get this virus. Now we go back. So if this not time for like the government put their hands down and say that we all come together. Like you said, this is not about politics. They're not for politicize this. Then for this is about the life of Sierra Leone. This is about saving lives when I the most precious of price commodity now the world. So this not time for that we come together and put back the what will be done land, put 10 things together, and so that this Ebola will go prevent them from entering into the country back in Sierra Leone.
Wonderful. Well stated, madam. Well stated. Make her go ahead and call Mr. Chief Alaji if you want to add to that before I come back in, please.
Yes, indeed, waiting for add. Because something we get something, if we get it right or we get it wrong, you got to do analysis. We call it ballot thematic analysis to see which side go wrong and which side go right. Now let's look at the past Ebola. I have asked a question: why Ebola just passing between we access Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia? You see, the government of Sierra Leone to work with the Bano River Union for men and do research. Why Ebola for Canada this area? We get other parts of Africa, other parts of the world. Right now we region Ebola they come. You see, that will lack in Africa. We are not embarking on research. This country, the research of medicine, the research a lot of things for see and after this COVID-19, and they have serious research. They have to know who say come out and how to do this in future. Now that I have to say, I call like a post-mortem. What are the cause of this thing? Let's do it as a sub-region because Salon will get money for that in one. Let's work with Guinea, Liberia. We'll make a research team for check why Ebola fashion in this region. What should go wrong? Now, who side they come up from? Because it must get a link. It must because the Ebola na Congo is different to you. The Ebola Congo na like a malaria. Until where they used to, until where they live, like a malaria. It's also hostile to people there. It's very calm. But why would get a very pernicious Ebola in our country? I know what it happened because I was in Sierra Leone 2015. I know what it caused. Understand it? So another thing I get one for advocate. The last time also we closed schools, and now we are training the next generation of Sierra Leone. Now, how we address this issue for closing schools? Now, let's not get policy them or protect the people in school, that class them like I be saying on this, or get buckets them, wash their hand, they get away out of culture class, out of promote. Let's get the school ready. Let's get the school ready. Because the last time I was one of the advocates. We say we pick again our host. Some of them children, in fact, we get a lot of children pregnancy during Ebola. They keep their house. Some of them people don't get money. How they go to private lessons? The one they get money, then they get capacity for training picking the house. But the other one they know poor, they were being, they are being neglected, and even the future may destroy them because they lost like a year. They don't go to school, and then they teach them. I would suggest say no use radio, TV station for giving the lectures that us. Because even UK will do have like the BBC gets a whole lot of education stuff the way people they go, they check a land. Right? Even when they get Zoom classes, they take Zoom classes. So how the government use the media for teach people or in case school and law. Make we know repeat what we have the last time. Make people not see that so they took away the way put them poor, where they cannot afford for take private tutorial. How we try for stifle for thwart what we have the last time as alone where we pick them. They destroy their education, they lost a lot of things for land. Some they become pregnant. Because one, they don't go for it. First they go to street, they go people there, they get or for go get water, they still put there, they get belly. These are teenagers where now they are our future. How will we reverse this trend, make it happen again this time? And they pray to God, make this not come, who say they stop it, and who say they will help Billion government for destroy them. Not because they are our brothers, sisters, they are our family, they are everything, because we cannot live without them. We are all neighbors. Because a neighbor now the next person we can try to get problems. So let's make sure we support the Guinean government, for the Guinean people, more make sure this thing not cross border, may stop them or kill them finish and so that's the control. And moreover, I also amend the government and get drivers. Because now we will get congested transportation they go now so and this thing that flew, now so they transmit. It's in sweat, speed and things. And what thing are happy we don't go like contractor the use of masks. So may this continue because now so the thing they transmit. So if I do this far, allow you for coming. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So make I recap some of the significant points that we're gonna make. Now we start with Mrs. Overcomer. I know say you talk about you encourage Sierra Leoneans then just like I re-echo earlier. Now we politicize this, but no, we'll rather put preventive measures in place in efforts for now we tackle them earlier than later. And then also some of the other significant point of Mr. Chief Tonkla, he make huge emphasis on how we go able for put things them in place for the minimize possibly taking advantage of the female population. As you make the example, say during the Ebola epidemic there was a lot of females that we come out being pregnant, and also I talk about the importance of putting things in regards to schools them for now minimize this deadly epidemic will be the surface now will make. You also talk about the the rate at which it affects Sierra Leone is different from that of, I know which country. I don't know if you talk about Republic of Congo. If you're saying that, if that's, oh, sorry, they're on mute, Sanede again. Sorry.
Yes. Na Congo,
Yes,
Congo.
Republic
I
of
think na Congo.
Congo.
Yes, Congo.
So, having
Yes.
said that, it could be possibly because now we also inform we viewers then that there are 5 different species of Ebola virus that has been found. And again, I stand to be corrected. If anyone do additional research and you know more on that topic, please feel free for joining the discussion. I will also get to a number available in a little bit. So it could possibly be the one where they affect Republic of Congo may not necessarily be the same as the example where Ms. Alhajigi is say the one in Congo is sounds it feel as example as that of malaria, correct? Oh, you there on mute again.
Yes, correct. No, correct.
Yes,
I can hear you.
yes,
Correct. Yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
So
Because it's like
yeah,
they are living. It's part of them. It's like
yes.
malaria. It's not like it's not host that and the we won't Ebola we're gonna alone in Nigeria.
Yes. Okay. So now I just read few things and then we'll talk about that. Yeah. The Ebola virus is spread in the body by body fluid or organs of a person or an animal with the Ebola infection. For example, if a person is directly touching the body of someone with the infection. Another example would be a person who has recently died. The Ebola virus can survive for several days outside of the body. If you're cleaning up blood stool, urine or vomit, or touching soiled clothing of an infected person, if you're handling on sterilized needle or medical equipment used in care of an infected person, if you're having sex with an infected person without the use of condom. Studies also shown trace of Ebola may remain in a man's specimen many months after he has recovered. If you're handling or eating raw or uncooked bushmeat, if you are kissing someone that have the Ebola virus, you can possibly get infected through their saliva or sharing a drink with a person with a person with the Ebola virus, touching a contaminated surface, example like doorknobs, any blood product, uncleaned needle, like I stated earlier. This is just to name few of how one can come in contact with the Ebola virus or how it can be spread. So I want to talk on that. If you want to add to that, or I want no further elaborate on that before we go to the next.
Yes. So can I interject?
Sure, please do. Go ahead. Come on in.
Yeah. All the way I like has to do about awareness and education. Because some people don't go to school, they don't know say forget the sense of contact. Without using preventive measures, that's why it cause the effective and spread of the illness. So what we need to do, the Minister of Health need to step up. We need to get a television, radio, a campaign for enlightening people and say this was especially like Guinea become like they can hit you, and it got towards Salon Pass to the 2 regions, the two neighbors there. So why was that? Well, that again, the Minister of Health need for research to see why the history harder than the neighbors there. Why they listen or the message never got home, because the message got home, but now we don't see the dangers of Ebola. Even the COVID-19, they see what happened in England. We've lost over hundreds of thousands of people there. In America, when I think more than 500,000. This way you get it, it's a joke, but it's real. It's real. So, and that you need to go come back to it. So we have to help ourselves, to help the country. So I want made the Minister of Health step up, the Minister of Welfare and General and Sanitation for step up. As I say, one thing we're very important about this fight and leadership. We Prime Minister Naya, where this start, it be the fumble. The last time, the media target time, now it don't catch up. In fact, now we get the most successful vaccination than any other partner Europe. In fact, at the world, we get the most successful vaccine because he step up, they chase him, but we don't want our president to be chased. He has to show leadership. Not only in the government, he get ministers there. He get permanent secretaries. He took down the line of politics. They have to step up. He get to engage. That for whole meeting, one like we can call a Kubra meeting, we will call meetings there, talk to people them for create awareness. Because we see how they transmit. Needles, so people they say needles, now people they say drugs, when you see they take a user. When you see somebody doing copy, take a drink up, you know WhatsApp. So all that it boils down to education. Let's engage our people through the media, social media, the radio, the TV, for talk to people about all languages, from all languages we get, all the 12,000 salon, look and engage people and educate them. Because education is very fundamental. And let me say, pass you go to school. But that radio, that way they communicate through look at dialect. That power within a village. That man within a mashibra. They all get about different language. Pamada within a kalang. The top of Mende, Iriari, right? Pasa within a kono. The top of Mende, Iriari, right? So let's get to the media. Let's get our message across our people. Let's educate them, right? This is fundamental, Khadija. Thank you very much.
Very nice. Well stated, sir. Let me bring back again Mrs. Overcomer. Come on in. If you want to add to that before we go to the preventive part of it. Come on in, madam.
Okay, Khadija. Earlier I've been talking about how Guinea not able to know how the Ebola, the North, got infected with Ebola. Africans, in generally, we are people the way we knitted together. We left for one body. We left for day together. Now we culture from where we great ancestors, and that's where we don't meet. We come over here. You go find out say Africans. If one can get in one place, everybody else will want for candle. We left for bunch together. We left for day together. So looking at the North way die, how the North probably because predominantly Guinea na Muslim country. And we know say when person died, they will get for watch that body. Them go come, them go watch that body for gang, right? And probably the close the way well, whoever they watch the body nine and they give, then close the day. When person die, them because now we don't mix. When person die, when they go water in close them, whoever the one the mammy they will go watch, and then go give the close and then go give the lapa. So that's so it don't take for begin spread. So now the same way because Ebola not they fly na the air. They na the air. And now when you get in contact with somebody where get the virus, now that way they get them. You they get them when only to person. When you let's say person where not infected in your like in saliva or blood or maybe your partner, your husband or your wife or vomit or toilet, Africa salon in general, we all will not say most of the toilets the way they na Africa, everybody we all they use the same toilet. Everybody you go sit down at the one toilet, and whatever that person they left, when you go sit down there, you self get infected with them thing and they or sweat or semen, like I said. So now that thing and they with a pattern from one person to then it easy for them, it's better among we. So when people that therefore no say now this. Not so. If the first way Ebola, if sweat touch me sweat, I get Ebola. If you mind the Ebola, when I get sex, you will get Ebola. If somebody where they now is sick, he begin vomit, then so okay, you go clean am. You go with you bare hands. You go clean the vomit. Go take ordinary pieces for go where that vomit day. You they get Ebola. So many people know them thing so or when somebody die na the community, then tell them them go wash up with their hand. And when it was infected, when he dies, in person they open, that person is highly contagious because body fluid they seep through in body. So you when they go handle body day without una no wear gloves. For what that body day without una no wear gloves. Now Ebola now una dey go take the virus now una dey take una can go to una family dem. Una can go to una family dem. So now this way in this virus dey scatter. So now we begin for land. When person die, for go water, una use gloves. Let nobody not using their hands for wash body. Let them use gloves. The person where he die in cluster where them in their power them in wherever, una burn am. Una for swear and go burn am. Let nobody not say go wash and let you take wear am. Because when you say that, so you say they take the virus, you can't go na your own family.
Well stated, madam. Thank you so much. So some of the things them where Mrs. Overcomer make emphasis on the preventive measures them. So in case you live with a loved one where they don't diagnose with the Ebola, please make sure say if you get for help them because they are helpless, they're not able for, they're weak, maybe then they vomit. As an example, just to give an instance, in the advice you say now you wear gloves. Now we not just take them for granted. Say, oh, I they go clean the how you call the vomit. Excuse me, and then you go obviously expose yourself to possibly getting the disease.
Khadija,
Yes.
just for jumping quick.
Sure.
Everybody, you for treat everybody a suspect. Everybody, even a your family member, treat everybody a suspect. Say, he get am.
Yeah,
That's the only way we're able for container. Everybody is a suspect.
great one.
Everybody get the virus.
Yeah, great
Yes,
one.
Khadija, can I just quickly, please?
Please do. Yes, please.
Yes, I'm watching the lady to just talk. We it's very important to our church in
Yes.
to have a church on it. The issue about logistics, because let's be realistic here. None of there's a way they cannot afford for get access to gloves. Neither PPE. Talk about the PPE, very important because the PPE now they protect the nurse from the patient.
Yes.
So what thing I suggest now, and also when the COVID started in UK, the UK made a huge amount of order from Turkey and other country where they don't use a day. This are millions of pounds of PPEs a day.
Okay.
Given that we get a bilateral relationship with the UK,
Yeah.
I think say the government will start to knock the door and say, I understand say one of the cities in the UK, they quote me say we get a huge amount of PPE stuff where the government don't use at all a day.
Yes.
So why they not start to reach now? Not even for the Ebola,
Yes.
for nurses in the country. It's there, and I don't where they use. So why don't we ask for Nigeria?
Great one.
Yes. So
Great
if we
one.
would be against us,
Great one.
asking for people, but if you then get them handy, let's try and get it so that more protect because as I say this is work.
Great
And
one.
would I finish one and the nurses, the cleaners, them, the doctors, and we lost a lot of effort. Train a doctor and nurse is very expensive.
Absolutely.
It's very expensive. So let's try to protect it first, that the first to protect. Not only give them PPE, but in terms of salary, but pay them risk.
Yes,
risk
that's
assessment.
another thing I
Although
wanted
risk
to-
assessment, they will pay them for risks because they are taking risks. So I have to pay them for not only the normal salary, but give them extra for the risk. I'm not saying the country they go through some challenges financially, but I'm not saying WHO will come in and support you.
Yes.
And they didn't come,
Well,
they didn't come with empty pockets, they are coming with funding.
yes.
Right? So let's make sure this funding put the nurses them as a priority.
Yes.
And Modi said the one who will quarantine, if they don't eat, the sick, if they don't get patient, the sick, they don't go to eat.
Okay.
It's
Yes.
Ebola.
Yes.
So I think this is just something for us.
No
Thank you.
problem. Yes, welcome. Well, you're welcome. Now go back to Mrs. Overcomer some of the things. So again, with a echo on the importance of if you have to be the caretaker wherein sometimes your loved one fall under that category, please, like how it is say use gloves. If we not get them because not all man will able to afford that. I don't know if you now recall this now, the Republic of Liberia during the Ebola epidemic where a family member, I think Naina be the only one who not been get time, like the entire family been get time, obviously it been get to a point where you run out of PPE. So what if they use like plastic bag in hand, you know, certain things that they type and safe, just not for able for care for in loved ones them. So you get for find a way where you know expose yourself to the disease and then of course, again, there's certain materials the way our home chemicals them we in again for obviously use with caution we maybe will share today. I don't know if they get bleach na salon. I think what they call it Clorox na salon. No, not a Whitex, ba? Whitex. We get that na salon,
Yes.
eh? Okay. And at the same way we they use at the same bleach like what they use na America or UK. Eh?
Well, the quality is different.
Okay.
I'm not talking about country, but the quality of the bleach there is not like because one get very harsh.
Okay.
Very, very harsh.
Okay.
Although there's some day we if you don't afford them, I mean the way they sell now then what market them, but some days we market them very expensive. That other person can afford them.
Okay.
But the one within the high street market, I don't think it's a standard even for do the intended purpose.
Okay, so
again,
you're not able for kill like the bacteria or the virus, eh? That I decide for say
they kill that because do I be used? Do I know? Do I get a London? I know say I know they compare two countries, but I think say the one is very harsh with any disease, anything with them.
Okay, so I go want to know like something I go know better before we get into that. Like maybe then I go tell we waiting at the other things that we then go use. I don't know if they get chlorine.
Lem it they do the job. It do the job.
Or it can kill them thing in there, eh?
Yeah. Lem is that's first medicine. That's first medicine. Well, in fact, may I just say something here? Me, what I using the house as me on COVID fight now I did my onions and cut I put across the house. In the apple.
Okay.
Yeah, it's helping me.
Yes.
Yeah, onions I cut I put them across the house and it's helping.
Okay.
Now, it's cheap and
yes.
But it's workable. It's do something for me. Now I had the cut onions and cut them. Not so I didn't keep it. 2 days I change them, cut the fresh one, put them across. Now that's a remedy I do.
Yes, I see. I've been on hearing something like that too. A story where they say then they not one city where all man they get sick, but then gonna one home when they go do a study. The entire family they not get sick, and waiting them they use was cutting onion, putting it around the house. But that's again some of we're not able to manage the smell. It gets to a point where something we go get nauseated. So, so for
So, but well, you have to consistent Khadija. You don't allow me to 1 or 2 days. Cut fresh one.
Okay. Yeah.
The make sure one thing we make sure the house is ventilated. Open the windows, the doors. May you fresh when you come in and go out. That's it.
Okay.
You just keep the house ventilated.
Great one.
Make it not smell funny. Yeah, yes. Make it not smell funny.
Yes. Because people like me will get a weak stomach, then yeah. So now I want to talk about preventive measures, which some of which we'd already talk, or most of them we don't talk, but I want to read some of these already where being talked on the audio as well. There are several steps we can take to contain or prevent the Ebola disease. Most importantly, what we don't make emphasis on hand washing with soap and water. Use alcohol hand rub when soap and water is not available. Make sure fruit and vegetables are properly washed and peeled before consuming. Avoid physical contact with anyone who has possibly symptoms of the infection or the Ebola virus. Do not handle dead animal or their raw meat. Do not eat bush meat, to name few. So what I think of that, and I want to get anything else I want to add to that before we go further.
Yes. So the lady, if you want to talk, I wait for them.
Okay. So waiting me one for our day is bleach. Now very powerful way with people that can use and bleach cheap. Bleach cheap. So if you mix bleach and water, let's say for 1 gallon water, you put like a cup of bleach inside it. You dilute that water there. You use them for clean your surfaces and you also like you doorknob. For clean you countertop them. For clean areas the way say everybody they touch. Clean use bleach water for clean the areas then they. Then another thing where what just kind of in mind. I remember during the Ebola Feb, gloves sell more na salon. People they wear gloves, they work all around. When you wear gloves, that was a bad move. Because when you wear gloves, they go and touch. You know they pull the gloves so because the gloves they make them as you use them one time. When you touch anywhere, you pull them, you get where they pull away, they touch. Excuse me, they touch the inside, the outside of them. Where they pull them, put your fingers the inside and pull them out, so your hand they not touch them. You use them, you throw it, but people they wear gloves all day. And when they wear the gloves, they go and touch all side. People they will get Ebola, will get the virus, they don't touch us. Then they go and touch us. Mind you, it touch it don't touch us, it get in glove. It get in phone inside bag. Then in phone ring. They don't pull the glove so you take your hand, you put it inside the bag, you pull the phone, you hold the phone. Put in gloves. All the gloves, all the virus when you don't go and touch. You don't put them. You don't put them by you phone. Or excuse me that again.
It's okay. Please take your time. I think say that a salient point where if they make and time that relax small. Coincidentally, when we be do the one of our educational session. It's okay. Take your time. What we did do another educational session, one of we on this very platform where reside now New York City. He call in and give the exact statements so they give so he share the same experience, what he they observe, how people then this is what we they talk about the cross contamination. Gloves is can be useful, but you want to use them in a way where also they compromise yourself and that of your family. When you use them from one destination, it will be disposed to the next. In other words, if you use them with Saido when you don't done with them, dispose. If you think say they manage, they do more harm than good. In other words, if you use an market, not and kana you ose, you come back again, you touch your bag like how Mrs. Overcomer they say, and then of course you don't cross contaminate, they carry the germs from one destination to another. So come on in, go ahead, madam. If you're comfortable.
So, you just don't take everything where you take all throughout the day, always you don't gather with that glove day. You take a crown, go now you put. So your family, you go infect everybody. And we know how phone everybody get phone na salon now. Now one thing down there. So me advice to people that if you get phone, at least once or twice a day. Take pieces like a way the bleach water where you mix. The bleach water where you mix, where you make that pollution where you mix. Get a clean cloth, wipe them because clean your phone. Clean them your phone good before you at least once or twice a day. Now one big that one the way we tell jams go now with ocean. Okay? Then so we don't say now if we don't get used to them. We not do handshaking anymore. When somebody subconsciously they shake them, but now we know they shake that. Not such fucking way when the place the hot that salon the place warm the weather warm, people they sweat. And when they sweat, then get whatever their body fluid they come out. If you go, you hug somebody, you just hug whatever that person they get, you put up by yourself and let you dry. And the virus, not of you when you see with your naked eyes, they see them. And you see that some people they get a very strong immune system. So it will get the virus, but before the immune system strong, it's not a knock and down. I remember there's a documentary excuse me, where they make now, it is still then on YouTube, where I've been watching during that time for Ebola. Now, but Sierra Leone, this lady, the father-in-law, the sick, now they take care of the father-in-law now. Oh, the father-in-law can't die. After the father-in-law died, he begins show signs of the Ebola symptoms. Now a man called. If that was a father, a very father, they encourage people to go watch them. A man called, they can't take her. Father one here, a man, they get small picking. A man needed a man, it's so far when they can't take the lady, they can't go. Then can the lady go? After some days, the man said, can begin show symptoms. They can't take the man go. But what happened? They were children at the same place. After a week or so, I mean, if you see this guy, this man, how his face don't drain, waiting, he could barely walk because somebody do a video call with the iPad for them, then see them picking them because they get not picking them when they left. They do a video. He could barely walk. He's so weak. But in the end, he went go the seven, they can't go last. Now he died. The lady, he survived. The wife survived. So some people then go get the virus. Then your immune system strong. You know they show symptoms. But it can't be say if your immune system they down, it go affect more. So now that makes you foresee everybody as a suspect. Say everybody is infected. Then you be very, very careful.
Great one. Very good one.
Yes.
So in Adoyeri, you want to add to that, eh?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Because in church on one side, we very important part of this debate.
No problem.
This conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm talking about bushmeat.
Yes.
I want to less by the abject poverty in the country. People they trade bushmeat. People they barely afford to get a square meal. So and most of the people who in the rural areas, bushmeat is part of their daily meal. So now we'll stop them from making all eat bushmeat. So we are taking their living from them. Then how we replace that? Because we are looking at the indicators where they cause, where they escalate this thing. Then we're looking at a remedy which will stop them. So looking at the poverty, looking at how people and how people they survive. Because we go kill we big, they sell and make money, we pay school fees, right? We look in Liberia will get normal bushmeat will sell to each other. This alone also obviously contributes. But poverty, they lure people into danger. You see, because if you say you get picking up a feed, they're not going to food. But if you kill that bushmeat seller, they make money. You will kill them, you sell them, they make money. So I'm more looking to that. Then another thing where I say I don't really talk now about the vaccine. I don't say they get the vaccine way they say they go test and Guinea. That vaccine, what is that vaccine efficacy? You still there? If you did, the one that will not engage the WHO more see how effective it is for trying to mitigate the burden where the trouble it will cause.
Well stated.
That comes into policy. So let's have an engagement an extensive engagement within the sub-region. I will talk to Ivory Coast, talk to Guinea, talk to Nigeria, engage the African Union, engage ECOWAS, see how we set up a framework for challenge this issue. Because Khadija, make I go to something where I wrote an article. That article it went a long way. In fact, 100 people watch it. About that, they found people. I think 5 or 1 million people watch it. Yes, they publish it online. I challenge the African Union because I draw a correlation between the African Union and the European Union. That it just happened within that same period when terrorists they attack now France. That's the same 2015. You see the European Union rally against France. They all good. In fact, even some African leaders they go to France, they go support France for fight back. They do it. But when we get the Ebola, a lot of African countries they stop their flights there. The only flight to be go now here Morocco and Eastern Brussels. So that compelled me to write an article. I challenged African Union. I said Kwame Nkrumah, Mandela, they for the speed and the gravity. Waiting at the essence of African Union. Now follow support each other. If you don't say we'll be friends because of our wealth. When I sick, I don't see them in right? So this for challenge right now because I challenge them. and that actually works. Because I remember when I come to that, in fact, that the Petroleum Vanguard that they publish online, right?
Oh, Patriotic
Yeah, actually
Vanguard,
yes,
yes.
within a few weeks, after 2 weeks, the African Union they go salon. Because I telling them,
Wow.
I did. See that, yeah, honestly, the article is still online.
Wow.
Once I say, I'm going to give it to you.
Yes.
I have a lot of viewers. So, and they acted. And in fact, I advised President Kuruma for Legi, Yamuruk, and Esa Brussels free, like 5 years tax free airport tax. Because those guys, they put their life on the line for Federawi. Because all the African flights, they stop. Now, all the Yamuruk and Esa Brussels, they fly that alone.
I like
so
that.
if they're two flights be shut down, we are finished.
Yeah.
We are finished. So what the essence of the African Union, ECOWAS, what are the essence? When Ebola came, they turned their back against us. So these are the issues for the highlights by the public domain for making the government be aware of.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Yes. So some of we viewers the way they live now the Republic, please ask as to who side in the cell in a local bleach them or things them please, but I get for use them back to with caution and I be very careful, like people like myself who get sensitive skin. Even the bleach, go use that with your bare hand. You get for use gloves. If not, you can also get another effect, side effect. So I want to share some of the things that we talk about, like this now a Clorox bleach, where it be say they use for the house, and then you get another one when at the spray. This one like for your bathroom and other areas them now the house, then thing they kill or them bad thing there. So any kind of thing, even as in the example of somebody who maybe might get an HIV, or any other bad sickness way can possibly be transferred to the next person. Yeah. This one now also Lysol. This one now like for the kitchen. Then get different products them. Another Lysol again. This now like a spray where you go use now the doorknobs. You go use now different areas then at the house where basically they also kill all type of virus, and it is specifically say that each one of the what I don't just mention, so that they kill 99.9% of virus and bacteria. Some of them even specify say the corona virus, MRSA, and the list goes on. The flu, of course, and the list goes on. Anyhow, then again, you get waiting at the Lysol wipes. This again, now you can use like any kind of surface in the house. Maybe you center table, your computer table. Another thing where I been to do some research, where they do party non-profit United for Salon, things like keyboard. Those areas are one of the dirtiest area you can think of. Keyboards, mind you, if you're in an office, thousands of people they use that same computer day. So do not underestimate. Maybe you might have a clean hygiene habit, but the next person might go to the bathroom and not necessarily wash their hand. Then kind of use the keyboard. You come, you sit down, you use the keyboard back. You begin to feel sick. You don't know side the sick come out from. So that is why you keyboard to you for cleaner and your hands as well. In terms of the what we talked earlier, we say Watano Day, make available to you. Okay, I always say the wipes, the hand wipes. You can get some in pre-packs where I be share at some point and get different flavors them or smells them way might someday we not go get any scent. It depends on what thing you like or what your skin go agree to. So it is always important too, if you can afford it, especially for you in our day that the Republic they also get hand sanitizer. This now like in a form of hand sanitizer, but now also a hand wipe. You can afford it. You can put it in you pack a book or a plastic bag where you walk with for guide yourself. If in case you come across something, you touch a doorknob but you're not able to wash your hand right away, that's where this come in place. Things like hand sanitizer. My daughter within a salon, it make her clear say then they sell them. It could be a little bit expensive, but then they sell them and then get different flavor, but then they sell them. So I just want to share that. And then also we're not going to talk about the Ebola without we not acknowledge some of the doctors then we succumb to the disease and the victims them in Sierra Leone and beyond Sierra Leone. person like the one where Mr. Alhaji Tonka today I can't find out. So there was another doctor by the name of Dr. Koma. We want salute him. Negod Gian Good Road, and that's of his family. We're sorry for the loss. Dr. Martin Salia, Dr. Victor Willoughby, Dr. Sheikh Omar Khan, Dr. Modupe Cole, Dr. Thomas Rogers, Dr. Olivette Buck, Dr. Solomon Konoyama, Dr. Dauda Koroma. We salute each of you, united for Salon and in collaboration with Salon for All and Voice for All Network Television. Thank you all for your service. May your soul rest in perfect peace. And we also want to acknowledge all the one around the world. We also there and each and every one of you each day where they give in a very best to the medical to the medical industry for see that people them around the world are safe. Salute, Mrs. Victoria Overcomer. You're one of them. I was for a long time, and then I shy away from the field. So salute. And anyhow, and then we re-echo some of the significant points where Mr. Alhaji talk about salary. I can always say there are two important fields in this world. One of which, after God, the teachers them where they make the doctor, the lawyers, and the list goes on. The second one, of course, the doctors them. Without them, after God, without them, how will they able for stay well? So like how we talk the salary, they're not for play with them, they're not for compromise that area there, because then they also jeopardize their life for save other people. So I don't know if you want to add anything, Mrs. Overcome, before we go to the next topic, and then I bring Mr. Alhaji. Mrs. Overcome, come on in.
And I just want to say things away, like with Comrade, Ebola, the virus, if you not Comrade, you talk to you picking. You picking, they get jam. They pass the virus through the breast milk where they give picking. So I just want to educate the one the way na Comrade. You get small picking where baby where they suckle, another way where you can pass the virus. So we Comrade themselves for let them be alert for neck, then they protect them picking them. Because whatever you get, you are passing it on.
Yeah. So in other words, you advise go be if then diagnose a mother for fall in that category as an Ebola patient, if for stop for suckle the picking right away, and maybe use formula not so for use formula in the meantime. Okay. All right. Go ahead, ma'am, if you want to add more. Okay. You get any other addition? Or you good? Or you wanna come back to?
Yeah, but too, you read peace, or where you go say we call them peace, you read as well. Another mode of transmission.
Yes. Excellent, Mrs. Overcomer. Yes, sir. Go. Come on in, sir.
I just subscribe to what you don't say for actually hail doctors them when they passed away.
Yes.
Honestly, that just touched me. It moved me emotions. And the last doctor we mentioned, Dr. Dauda Koroma, that's my cousin.
Oh, that was the one. So I don't forget him.
Oh, thank you. I mean, that's my cousin. In fact, he doesn't finish in doctor in medical school.
So sorry.
He didn't get say, let me get a reward of what I don't do. You see, well, for me, he died as a national hero.
Yes.
He puts himself forward.
Yes.
And Dr. Kang, Dr. Kang was first doctor who passed away. Yes. None of the experts them Napati Balasa, he became them.
Yes.
So I was following that trend. So another thing what we discussed there, I mean, is that the way how they track and trace. Very important. And we cannot track and trace, I mean, in for freighter. We go for set up task force. Because I remember during the Ebola, the one that wouldn't survive the Ebola, now they use for track and trace. And that they do at community level. That helped immensely. It helped immensely. So that's very important. So if we know say that without them we don't survive the Ebola, they're still there. So at least we do trial or see if they will still resistant to this fear.
Yes.
Then they will be part of the task force for make the help for mitigate this burden. Because I will not say if it will prevent criminal. But as I said earlier, let's be proactive. More try to stand on this fear head on and see how to stop her. Now pay keen attention on the borders, the airport, the borders and ports. Let's look at this area and try to see how for try for challenge this there and try for coil them, make it not spread in the country. So another final one I put tonight, we is very key because there are people with the abuse situation. So get people at the time people like they increase prices, right? So it should enough for laugh at people in pain. Enough for can get make profit at people in pain. If there's an Ebola, if there's any crisis in the country, I mean, I appeal to terrorize them. I'm not saying yes, we're not saying they use money, but please, one make sure say we all fight this year fairly and equitably by not escalating prices for even because when if you put the price up, people don't afford the food and die. So it contribute, in fact, it even contribute to the death rate. So I appeal to the government for engage the traders then across the country, not the price control, make the people not punished because of they say, oh, there's a lockdown. I mean, we if you don't go masheka, if you don't go makeni. So more could not use that for abuse the power they will try and get for try for exploit poor people. So that's at the end of this issue.
Great one, great one. You want to add anything?
I just want to throw this like quick, Khadija.
Yes, ma'am.
According to the CDC, you know, when I explain this quick, when you get, let's say somebody can I oath, when somebody can I oath like a thief or robber, where can I oath? What do they do? You they fight that person there.
Right.
You they fight them. So na system where naturally God make we body we get cells them where they fight infections. So when you get infected with the virus, your body they build after when your body when anything where time inside you will not be in the day. Your body they say you not be in the naya. What you can do? What you can do? What you can do? So your body build so German the way them call antibodies. You build antibodies so that when you see that person the way the cancer again, he say, okay, this person I recognize I did not come. Oh, you I know you. So you know they fight them. It don't build antibodies. So you know they fight them because it already there. It already there. Nah, in body don't be so it protected. And according to the CDC say the one that we don't get them, the antibodies them, that is so German the way they don't build inside in fact is there for the layman understand.
Yeah.
When I can say when it God forbid if any country will go for what attack Salon today, they're not able to tell the poor people that that's how they sell na market. They're not able to tell and say, okay, you go first now. War. No. Now people get so German then. Now we so German and then they say then go fight the war. So now the same thing. When something can inside you, inside you, your body gets so German then the cells away and then they fight that infection day. So when you build the antibodies, the CDC said the antibodies will last up to 10 years.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh wow.
It will last up. Yes. It will last up to 10 years. So up to 10 years, you get immunity.
That's good.
So that means, which is good for the one that way they don't get infected. Even the study they say even maybe they don't know it might even last for lifetime.
Wow.
But they not get.
So so an example, the one that we catch 2014, they're good till 2023.
24.
Or 24.
Yes.
Okay. If we
2024.
Okay.
So yes, they get immunity until 2024.
Okay.
And now that the CDC saying.
Okay.
So which is good. But for you not being get them, you are not covered.
Okay.
So you see why you for be vigilant.
Yes.
For protect yourself.
Yes. Nice
okay.
One. Yes. Yes. Nice one. Nice one. You want to add anything else? So one thing we will know for the one that we might be lost with it now read them, so they'll go put on a layman's term before we go further. Ebola is a virus that causes problem with how your blood clots. It is also referred to as the hemorrhagic fever virus that result in clotting problem, which leads to internal bleeding and blood leaking from small blood vessel in your body. So in other words, now it make it dangerous past even the corona. In other words, what you make them call and say it, hemorrhagic fever. In other words, where it hits the blood cells, and then if you know, be careful, it get problem for the blood, the platelets and come back together for it clot. We go stop the blood, the bleeding. So some people they can bleed now to the point where then they die, unfortunately. So I don't know if you want add to that. It also cause inflammation and damage the tissue, the body obviously. Anything else, or now we move to the next?
So when you talk about Ebola, they cause inflammation, they cause bleeding, hemorrhagic fever.
Yeah.
What did it happen? It dey cause, like what you say, like to go your body, your entire system into a cascade. It dey throw your entire system where they cause you dey bleed, even the small vessels them. Now your body bleed, bleed. You not the able, you platelet are not the able for contain the bleeding. You see like a way Africa where I remember what be small when somebody wound, you see the blood now gone. After some time when breeze don't blow am, the blood is thick, when they are gone or when they kill an animal, the blood is thick. So we get that in the inside we body where they make we let will not bleed to death.
Yes.
When something happen, let will not bleed. Like you cut your hand, you platelets, then they form a mesh where they make you not bleed to death. The bleeding stop. So with when you get infected, so it like that completely, it is turn your entire system into a cascade of all you organs and everything inside you for begin to bleed, and you bleed to death where your body not able to get them, they not get them that ability they for let it stop them, for let it come together like a perform that mesh, for let it for stop that bleeding there. So now that when they talk about when you say they get the hemorrhagic fever again, you bleed.
Wonderful.
Today.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So I think we don't done, or now we'll go ahead, or
yes, I think let me go ahead.
Wonderful.
To the other topic.
Okay, no problem. So now we talk about mental health before we learn to hepatitis. Mental health, make I just read with Queen's language for open the floor, and then we go start for categorize some of the specific under mental health. Mental health include our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. Mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence through adulthood. Mental health, defined by the World Health Organization, WHO, is a state of well-being in which the individual realizes his or her own ability, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. So I don't open the floor. Now we start with that, then we'll go into the detail of the rest.
Yes, Khadija. Madam, I will overcome at the beg you there, make on this issue, please. But I know I like to allow women to talk first. We always allow women to go first. But please, I'm so passionate about this issue.
Okay.
I am too. I am too.
Well, please go ahead. No, you go ahead. I'll give up. You go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay. This is a topic where I'm passionate about. I can always say, if my goal was not to go back where I retire, go back to Africa, where I don't say primary care, you get more need na primary care, na site now for we don't study. I remember I worked na a site hospital here in America for a long time, and I remember so during that time and day I've been doing my bachelor's. So I fell in love with this particular population, and I did a lot of research on it. First of all, when somebody say he get belle, when he share the news to his family say I'm pregnant, what thing happen? Everybody gladly, they gladly for them, not so.
Yes.
We all go gladly, they go send flowers, we go send cards, we go rally around that person day when he get belle. Now that God forbid somebody gets, he said, then go diagnose her with a terminal disease, like say cancer. People too go rally around that person day and support them. They go send cards, they go send flowers. But when a family member say they diagnose me with schizophrenia or bipolar, who wants to be around that person? Nobody. Nobody
That's a
wants to
great
be around
one.
that person.
That's a great one.
So we all they say, hey, that they Christ, they don't get license for Christ. It's Christ. The stigma, the stigma for these people. So even in America here, these people is not just like they go through a revolving door. It's like when they get the symptoms, then give them medication, then get better, then go back. Then go back into the society. Then because number one, the side effects of the medication, they affect them. Let's say you have a 26 or 25-year-old girl who is conscious of in weight, is conscious of in looks. You go get a Zyprexa where they make in 6 months, he don't get over 60, 70 pounds. He go take that medication day, he not go take up. Neither, you get a young man where sexually active, he gets his wife. You go give medication where they cause problems in the bedroom. He go take the medication, and now they take them. So what young people here they do, mostly they refuse to take the medication, and then they just either they will take alcohol or drugs or mask the symptoms. And then they go right back. So this stigma, now the community, the stigma in the community where them people here they face, then plus the medication and lack of support where them people here get, when they know they get, especially for we people of color. White people, you see they say, oh Johnny, he had a mental breakdown, they support him. But black people, we say he crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody know they support
I like the way you said, Johnny. Yes.
And
yes.
We don't come overseas. Mental health, they shun we set away from them. You then not say this person, something is depression is here. If they go through depression, if they go through anxiety, but because of the stigma, in no one protect, they say, oh, let them not say a crazy. So in no go seek help until water pass flower. So now the same thing with a salon. At the moment when somebody gets a mental issue, what should they do? Then kick them outside, then let her they walk around. We let her dirty one, they walk a dirty one and say, now that we don't give them a name, that first man. We give them a name, if they walk up. So these people, they know they get support at all. They know they get support.
Excellent point. So one of the very first one, which is the number one mental illness where you mention is fall under the category of depression. And I will make it clear to the audience before I bring Mr. Alhaji come in. Depression, we all at some point in our life don't go through them. There is a minor one where you will call them under the category of norm. But when it becomes severe, where you're not able to get up from work, from your bed, you're not able to do your normal routine activity, you're feeling the feeling of guilt, extreme mood change, withdrawals from friends and family, significantly, you're severely tired or low energy, problem with sleeping, then that's when it becomes concern. So in other words, so what to make up it, they say we all don't go through them. Let's say you lost a loved one, someone were dear to you, a parent, or so maybe somebody go born, then lost them picking, you understand? Or sometimes you lost a job where obviously honestly, that is all part of waiting a human being need for not able for afford for themselves and take care of their daily needs, yeah, especially given the obvious now then kind country also, whether it's the United Kingdom, United States, Africa, some say we build that house, it don't become your own. Or some say if you go rent safe, you know, get you go talk to the landlord, you know, not go just he be so no on a street, you know. But then country there so no, they no want no explanation. You mistake, then the care you gonna cut the next one X, Y, and Z. So that is waiting we will consider waiting and consider the normal, you know, and not as severe. That is minor depression. When it becomes severe now, if you go through those lusts, you're not ever able for cope. You become you get forget to that point, like how Mrs. Overcomer they say sometimes some people then required for them to go to a doctor, for them to get medication or maybe continue counseling, then that's when it become critical, you know, or like, you know, some of the events over there you say, oh, this boy killing mama. Oh, it is easy for look outside and judge. Could it possibly mean that maybe they suffer with mental health, where maybe there was no signs, or maybe the signs were there, but they were being ignored? You understand? We also hear an unfortunate incident with a son killing his father. Now, Maryland, I am very, very slow to conclude or judge, but rather look at the picture and say it's sad on both ends. The way we lost and the way we actually do the crime, you know. So having said that, make I also read that this was in October 25, I think. I don't know if it's 2021. Not quote me, please. It's estimated about 300 million people they suffer from depression. Yeah, and that's now with number one mental illness. Come on in, Mr. Alhaji. I know say one can in touch on this.
Yeah, thank you very much, Khadija. One thing I will tell you now, tomorrow I'm going to have a publication on the same issue in Sierra Leone.
Oh, wow.
Because I don't have to call politics for this program, but we as politicians, we don't deviate from responsibility.
Yeah.
So that's made it take on tomorrow. I have a center, the mental health issue, among others, as one of the key policy what they pursue. Let's look at a country of 8 million people. Only one mental health hospital.
Yes.
Right? But okay, now let's go back where I came from, the Civil War. I was there from start to finish. I saw evil. I saw the atrocities. And I know say that gets a lot of people. It cuts across communities and societies. And just after the war, we'll get funding, we'll get multi-million dollars when they can rehabilitate those victims. But that don't happen. So they left that on the street of the country for making the street deal with the issue. And that to date, they get an impact on society. They see people, they left them, they drink Pampers water. That's not normal. There's a bell ringing that we as politicians they ignore. So now what we need to go back to the drawing board and try to address these issues. Because society see you begin they kill the mama daddy before you, or the people that before you, that gets a mental torture. There are a lot of workers where they go to depression. But we don't get the framework we put at the workplace for deal with that. That's needed to be done. Then we look at postnatal. Yes, woman they born, so they why they go through the back, they go to trauma. So that the trigger problem.
Yes.
Understand? So are we dealing with these problems?
Yes.
Are we? And look at the country. We have more women singly than men. Right? So given that this matter, and when they have a sick workforce, we know they get growth. So we cannot ignore. And what Madam Obama talk about the stigma. Even they say that man go to Christian. They go there. So let's not name that place from Christian. Let's say this is like a name way.
Thank you.
Palatable.
Yes.
So let's change that name. Then why don't we have the infrastructures?
More empathy.
Let's get policy. Let's get the hospital na Kalau, na Kono, na Tongo, na Kenema, na Bo, na Makini, na Cambia, na Peter. We can't just rely on only one doctor, Dr. Nahim. From our young, Nadim Nairi and Tete Nairi, Dr. Nahim. Right?
Yes.
It's shameful. We have to invest. We have to invest for challenge this issue. We have to put this issue. Tomorrow, listen, I'm going to have an article in the program tomorrow. I am going to take on, there's a mental health crisis at Sierra Leone. We have to deal with it. We have to confront it head on. Otherwise, we are going right in circles.
Yes.
Because the war, the trauma you caused is still a battery. it still affects me. There are people. Let me give an example. I mean, one million uncle, they're chopping both hands during the war. So now you might be look after that. You might try for clean them. He left him, you know, way. That man died. He died of shame. He died of trauma. There's nothing to help him. I remember I see one video where one man, one chef met. He said if they're with the country and they turn against the country, they swear the country, Saluga Laki. They say because they're not it's money, they're not politicians. But they caught the hand. This man is talking Facebook and cry, was telling me I. He was pleading to the government. He said they want to carry please, not to we back for. We know we are not politicians, not to we go back to that. They can't come to one thing. They say if we turn or share this country are lucky. That makes it pain me. That makes it pain me so much that it was right. Because not a politician, just another imam. They cut both hands, they were chopped off. There's nothing where they give a respite. They left him to rot. Not only hundreds of them they across the country, right? We go for try for deal with this mental health issue in the country. Very important. If we cannot ignore it, we can't. We go for take them on. We go for take them head on as a country. It go for start from where the politician. We need to bring in policies where they actually create the edible environment for create awareness. Say this one will get mental problems. So tell me that there's something that trigger them. There are triggers. Some of them are poverty, lack of employment opportunity. Some of them are lack of some of this I call them psychosocial elements where they contribute to this better breakdown. We're going to try to take out the stigma, then try to make them a way where it will be palatable, where everybody will say if they get any issue of mental illness, they will seek help. But one thing I do want to back up now, I'm not a therapist, but because I love study. There are some people that need therapy. They need psychotherapy. From just give them talking therapy, then they go through the depression. Some are not waiting for hospital, or just therapy, just get therapy, counseling. It's missing. There's no counseling. I remember when after the war, some doctors in America and UK they go salon for help for counseling. But they can't stay there for long, and they are volunteers. I think they stay about 1 year or so, then they come back. Right? They left the job to the government. So the government for them embrace this money when they give it. They give us millions of dollars for the counseling to their victims there. Then a lot also what happened to them. I said now the problem
Okay, so it gets another interruption. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
you on land? Go ahead and land. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so they left us to actually pick up the pieces of this disaster.
Absolutely.
So I say we as politicians, we are duty bound for challenge this issue and try for eradication in the country.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
You are very welcome. So now, some of the points where Mr. Alhaji don't mention series of health education we don't do on this platform. Mental health has been one of them. It also give an example of a pregnant woman who give birth that will fall under the postpartum depression, where we don't do a session.
Postnatal.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, postnatal depression. Where we don't do
we call it in America postpartum.
Correct, exactly. Postpartum. Yes. You know, say the breaches. Yes.
You cannot done on me.
No. What they say? You know, say the breaches them. Like even organization with a spell and with a Z, the spell and yeah, right. So like we call it also a postpartum depression. So I think postnatal. Okay, yeah. So that is one where we don't talk on here. So then the other thing back again, I be also share here where a British man, where unfortunately instead they suffer or they live with a mental health, where it go on a salon, it talk about with facility. We don't talk about it on here, where we give suggestion. And it's so right unfortunate, it's so sad. It says the way we treat the man them where they suffer from mental health. Like I say now, so I give the example, we don't give kudos to people like Blacker, where people then they say that Chris man. We always say, just like how Mr. Alhaji they say, no, we give them respect, say that they suffer from mental illness, instead of we call and say like Chris man, you understand? Because the things then where that young man they contribute to a nation, even the one that when a politician they do them, they go around the city of Freetown, they look for the one that will fall under the category of mental illness. They try for shave them, groom them for they look look good. You understand? So people like that, we really, really give for help them. And then the other thing, again, like I say, that documentary there, it been give some suggestion, and when we look come back again, maybe giving these people the correct medication where they need. You understand? Instead of leaving them, maybe they should be multiple mental homes in Freetown, because I mean at the capital city, not only one. If even we can get like a 3 or 4, instead of they left them people they are so where they suffer from their mental illness there, and then they become homeless. Maybe a shelter where they can able for go and get and seek refuge. And then what else have we at? Okay, so some of the things that we suggest, we have also done that here. In the case of, let's take mental illness out of the equation. People like let's say then go through the rape victims then. You understand? We also don't suggest say not only for hold the people they accountable we do them, but therapy is needed for them victims then they. We want to look at it as a holistic approach. We often say, oh no, just can't go to police. They will left the young lady there. They not get to that, and they talk to that, and they get counseling from, and then also even the rapists they are so. Can we also further look into them as to why they even think for say 6 months, 4 years old, then for tamper with them? Are they mentally sick that they are not looking into the mental capacity? I think that's something we for also put into consideration. What else have we want to bring to the table? Okay, I don't know if you want to add to that, Mrs. Overcomer, before we go to
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So one thing I want to say to we people them just for educate we people them. I mean, let them look at people with mental illness, not look and say na either na in fault or na do we make it great, or so inside we at Motaman we get neurotransmitters the way dopamine and serotonin. When are they responsible for the way we they feel like you glady, or you feel sad, or you feel like for say you not achieve, or you low energy and then thing and day. So some people and they either they make, but they are not making enough. When I'm responsible, like you feel tired all the time, you feel sleepy, or you're not able to sleep, or some people they're not making enough. So naturally, the way God make them, they're not make enough of them. Then to dopamine and serotonin, then to neurotransmitters, they are not making enough. So therefore, they need medication for help them. It not mean say when you take medication, when you know they make it, not mean say you create. No. If I tell you the amount of lawyers and doctors them, or people the way they hold high offices they here in the United States, where they take medication for let them function for the day, for let them able for perform their duties then. A lot. I mean, you cannot even believe people the way they see don't clean the way then suit and tie, then go to work. Then they take something, then they take medication for help them. So let we Sierra say let we left for stigmatized people then when they need, let we be educated more. Don't not stigmatize people then when they get run into them problems there. If they are not making enough, or if they are for let them take, encourage family members. If you see your family member, even for yourself, like for me, for example, 2011 when I lost my mama, I lost about almost 100 pounds. I'm not able to get out of bed because my mama been there with me. I just sent and said because even the 666, we did in and out of hospital. I got burn out. I said, okay, last time I'm go Freetown for a couple months, and you go come back for me to get myself together. My mama go within a month and a half, he passed away. It's just like that. Oh, that thing there, it eats me up. Why that was it? why did you send her away? That word they just constantly kept pounding and pounding and pounding and pounding the guilt. I mean, why I send her? I mean, not for being bad thing, a choice at the time. But that thing they eat me up so much, I'm not able to eat, I'm not able to get out of bed, I'm not able to function. I'm not able to sleep. Or I all day, I'm not able to go walk. I dey call up from work. Just call up. Just they cry. It only took the grace of God to take me back out of that all day. So there's a time in somebody in life where things they happen, where unpleasant change they take place. Now that person there in life, where at that moment that you feel like you're losing it, you're not in control. I think in a time where for them we rally among people then and support them rather than judging them or calling them names. Now time for them we support people then. We support people then for them for help them forget out of that. Like depression. The definition for that we diagnose somebody with a depression. If you go lay down, you lay down and net for sleep. You're not able for sleep. When you lay down, then that time you begin to think. Or when you sleep, within an hour or 2 hours, you don't wake. You begin it's difficult for you to fall asleep, or it's difficult for you when you wake, you're not able to go back to sleep. If this continually happens, the DSM and 5 says you therefore diagnose you with depression. So if you get that symptoms and then you're not able to sleep, talk to you provider. Go talk to your doctor. This is actually what they happen with me. I know when I lay on the net, I'm not able to sleep. Because you need your sleep for let your body reset, for strengthening you set back, for let you able for. But for we, these symptoms, same things that we can go through these things, we not pay attention to them. We not pay attention to we body. We body they tell we things them. We not pay attention to them. We for pay attention when something is wrong. Your body they tell you say there's something wrong. So we for pay attention to them and this. So let we support. Like I said, the support. If we support them people, then they when we know say this person not to say a person do am. Now just because it's not able for make enough document of the returning. It's not able for make enough. Now that makes it behave this way. Rather than we say, oh, this now a flaun. No, not a flaun. There is something in that person in brain we're not right. We're not right. Something is wrong. So let we educate research and support with people there.
Well stated, madam. Thank you so much. I know say Mr. Haji can come in. Come on in, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Now, thank you, Mrs. Obakom. Let's talk about solutions here. And as the previous speaker don't set out some of the ideas then. And one important thing I think is for try for encourage, more try get a mass team of nurses who are facing the government to bring a policy where they give them advantage for if you don't study mental nurse, the government will give scholarship for study. And more encourage more women there for come in. Why they paying up to women then? You guys are emotionally intelligent. You get empathy. So I'm not patronizing women, but that is fact. Right? So local policy where they favor women them when they do mental nurse, give them scholarship. In fact, don't take scholarship, but give them bursary. It's part of the way for you or more people to attract that market state for men and train for challenge this national crisis. Because we know we just do say the policy them, but we need for people for implement the policies. The policy then we need a team of nurses and doctors where they aim for implement them across the board. And in terms of infrastructures, let's try to have mental hospitals. Not give them another name where it will be attractive, where nobody will go share for good. And another thing that we have said, I think to all the doctors then who really work at government mental hospital, men don't know to create the torture and depression on their victims there, because if you go get somebody who is sick, go try go chain them. I not say the chain, I just give example. If we could not treat them away, we will add into the mental challenges. Let's more give them counseling, more give them medication, able to control them, calm them down, able for get them out of the depression. It's very important. So I'm also to that. More but the stigmatization is very for all things I'm could do as a country. Let's have a debate about this matter, this issue. Let's have a conversation, because by having a conversation as what we do now, we will provide solutions to what we want to see the future of Sierra Leone. Because, and again, as I said earlier, if we get the country sick, that country will grow. They're not going to grow. It has, that you need to, even Sierra Leone, you see people invest well, they pass about their mental illness. You see, so if we not treat them, we need to help a country. We will be going around in circles. So we want to grow, we want to see growth, we want to see development. Let's not to challenge anything. And one thing we need to do, we need to do research. Let's have research centers. If we do, let's more do partnership with Guinea, Liberia, Ivory Coast, or African Union. We more get a research center for the info trace them here, what the cause and how we deal with them. Because the civil war on its own, Khadija, I don't like you. I don't see doing the war. If I was not mentally fit, it will affect me. Yeah. Because I see the torture what I see, the killing them, the job on top of them, body them from another way. You see, the friends when I go to school, they pass them, you see they die. The torture what I see, look at the top there at Tongo. I was there. In fact, once I went, Babi go na Pangoma, went to Tongo. I was so lucky. It's a good fight. I be one left in that way. I'm a friend. I be do I'm good. It's time to say Bangura. So that don't sleep there. So that's go Kedema. That night I left the very morning. That attack Pangoma. They kill me. Telling me. They say so. It is see these people when I look together, when I live together, it is see say in the next minute they are dead. Right? Go Kedema. They are see the attacker will see left or right. You see him sister I don't know from her, like at the day of judgment. So if we don't address this mental depression, where they come out from this war, we are not helping our country. Some people they are weak. They don't strong like some of we. Also evil in our country. They don't see happy. They make God works. God may happen again. Now all that they don't see one word. They don't say, oh, let what come. No, we're so evil. We're so dangerous, and that danger is affecting them mentally. How you get in your mind that it's a rape in front of you or a killer in front of you? You have to touch it for the rest of your life. It look the way it's in my it affects your mental health. So much we don't just let you go across the state of Prince or Sierra Leone. We don't address that. We as politicians at the rate, we are pretty bound. We are legally and morally the obligation for sort of this issue. We take up head on as politicians. It's very important because we are the leaders. If we don't give on this matter, that's problem for the country. Because we're not helping. Even if you get all kind of policy, if you get a sick cause, they are not going through. They are not checking down because those people are not feeling great. So I'll stop so far, Khadija.
Great point and great point from
Khadija, just one jump in quick.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No problem.
I remember not too long ago, there some videos and they pass around where people then show this young girl Engie said, another one young boy the Engie said, all these things are mental illness. And they cause that. People then they're not able for cope. So then so say the shortest way or the easiest way now for just killing self. All of this the mental illness. So all of this, so we really need to educate people then that when somebody there we for watch people then educate people then waiting at the signs and symptoms of somebody waiting for commit suicide. America, when somebody you stand at hospital, whether an emergency, when you say you go one question whether they ask you get any thoughts, are you having any thoughts of suicide? Or when you say no, they ask you, are you having any thoughts of harming anybody? So if you don't have for kill yourself, you just think of for kill somebody, or if you say yes, I want for kill myself, then we ask you how, what are you plan? How you plan for accomplish this suicide? what you want for commit or how you plan for do cause harm to another person. So all of this, I think, say that time with government Africa, we government need for invest money into this because this is the taking care of the mental health of the nation is also as important as taking care of the diabetes, the cancer, and all the other hypertension and all the other things the way they kill people then. Because it's mentally you're not able to function. If you're not able to function mentally, waiting, you want nobody sick. Because stress, over and over again, research don't prove that stress, now the trigger all of them disease they are where they happen. Now we body them. Stress, now the trigger. Stress, now the trigger cancer. Stress, now the cell, one cell with your stress. Your body is constantly under stress or constantly inflamed. The cell one stress begin to rapidly divide. That cell they say it begin to rapidly divide. You always get next up. It said begin to rapidly divide. Go crazy. They all go crazy before you knew it. Then you get a tumor, cancer. So if you not take care of the mental health of your nation, you not put money into it, put money, invest into it, it's a problem.
Yes. Well stated, well stated, well stated. Before we go into and dive or finish this one, I want first of all extend sincere condolences for the loss of your mom. As you speak, I hear you go through the grieving stages where I remember going through nursing school. One of the things they wouldn't say before you learn to acceptance, from which they say you go through the denial stage, you go through the pain and guilt stage, you go through the anger and bargain stage, you go through the depression, and the list goes on until you land to the acceptance stage. One thing, if this will bring solace to you, and I hope so you don't overcome them. I do believe that anyhow
I did.
wonderful. Yes, anyhow we God destined somebody. And also the guilt was wow. If I know enough of it, don't send them. But do understand that God gets a reason for everything. You understand? So unfortunately, thank God you don't overcome them. But we are sorry to hear that. Now, I don't know if you want to add anything else before we go to the very last one.
Yes,
Yes.
I also that for register me condolence with old lady.
Yes. Sir.
We all lost my mother and up to me, and I don't know. I haven't finished grieving yet. From 2015, I know because I mean anytime I go salon, I pass society, I still just see face he's still around.
Yes.
But also I mean the grieving process is gradual, but given that some of that what me do to me, it fire me up. Because I always come to tell and say I don't ever let her down. So that's always the fire me up.
Yeah.
So now the grief is. Sometimes it bring it down, sometimes they fire up.
Yeah.
So I go rest and be condolence to the lady. And so all the one they lost their family then during this COVID-19.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I think I can relate to it now. One of the after God, one of the most important person in my life is my late dad. The man taught me how to love selflessly. A person with love beyond what in the word can actually define. It can rather even put in own things aside just for help the next person. So losing him, it was one of the most painful thing in my life. And just like how Mr. Alhaji say, for me, I think say when I begin get a bit of a reality or closure, I would say maybe now like this year or last year, one of the two, wherein every time that anniversary come, I can feel very low, very down, where I basically don't want to do anything but just grab, pray, and go back to bed, So I can really, really relate to what I say. Like how Mr. Alaji say is gradual. You can never know until you actually experience it, So yeah, I can really, really relate to both of you. So having said that, I don't know if I want to add any more. I want respecting ourselves your voice before we land.
I just want to say, is anybody that go through that?
Yeah.
I just go through that for me. Me waiting God used, I begin to remember the good times we had.
Yeah.
The good times we had and how I took care of her. I make sure say I provided for my mama the same way you not able for fend for himself again. So now then things and they now give me satisfaction. Now give me comfort and console me. So if anybody they go through, you lost the person, you they go through the grieving process, just like no, say when you first in their life, now you for do for them. Not wait until you first in die, you go do kill cow or make papi show. That's all. You're just doing it for uh the people they see. But when you first in their life, the Bible says not neglect you mama when you don't old, not neglect you papa when you don't old. You take care of people and say when they don't old, you take care of them. So those are the things, the memories, the good memories there. Women go sit down here with laugh and all them things. So now that give me comfort.
Yes, that's another great one. For
Yeah.
me, those times sometimes can even bring more grief to me, meaning that when maybe sometimes pick her up, we go on a medical appointment or go on a house, we had a good conversation. So sometimes we can just look and say, wow, I wish I could have asked more question. I wish I could have, but yeah, I think Sedanina a great one, knowing that while they're here, you do your very best. If you're not even able, like in the obvious of Sierra Leone, some of in our Dede, and are not able, get trials, maybe lost a job, you're not able for Dede physically. Just even a phone call showing that you truly love them. I think sit down there alone at the end of that phone call and tell you, saying, God bless you. It goes a long way. So not only the financial aspect, just the concern, the tender love and care. I don't know if you want to add to that before we go, Mrs. Overcomer. You want to say anything else or you good?
No,
You
we're good.
okay,
Then we
good.
go move to
Mr. Alaji. Any more, Mr. Alaji?
Yeah. I think you just give me a background of your daddy. I think your daddy and my daddy they share the same attributes. They are short person way they go longing for help.
Yes.
And why I don't go stop for grief about them, they were my role models. My daddy pushed me to the limits, and so if I can at the UK, I be successful. Mama, my daddy bring me up, and he did well for me. Never was successful done. If I say I will stop crying for them, I'm lying because I tell I'll go and see them, leave them, I have to cry. And but where I see them, they fire me up for do what they have to do. I wish they would be around me now. And it's the daddy, but do better, much for me. But yes, still, that gap they now me go feel. Now I will feel as a leader, as a person, as a leader, as a human being. Say, I will deliver as I promised them.
Yes.
Inshallah, and I will get there.
Amen. So when you talk
Yeah.
about that, you look at a leader as in that
Yeah.
of the then president, yeah? The then
Inshallah.
yes, inshallah. Now God make what you
Inshallah.
look
So
for, you get some.
I wish I wish they could be around that
Oh,
time, but so
yes.
I will still get courage and others to look after me.
Oh, yes, that's right. So when you talk about leader, it remind me of President Obama in United States of America, right? When you look
Yeah.
at his story, so sad. He lost his mom, he lost his dad. The woman back again, we instill so much value in him when in grandma way and in grandpa way men before they even swore in he lost that person. So I can only imagine what he go through, during that inauguration process. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Probably this on the day I'll be crying on that day because I'll be seeing their photos in front of me.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
oh.
But anyway, we'll get there. I'll dust myself.
That's
Keep
right.
fighting.
I love that. So they can
Thank
land.
you.
Yes, they can land now to the last one where they talk about hepatitis, and we get series of hepatitis. We get 5 different hepatitis: the A, B, C, D, E. I want to make sure. Yes, A, B, C.
Yep.
Yeah, A, B, C, D, and E. And E. Yes, yes. And it is it is said that the C is the most severe one, but not just left her open. Mrs. Overcomer, I think say you want coming, so go ahead, please. And by the way, there was an excellent story where Mr. Alhaji share with me where I say, oh my God, you have to be part of this discussion. Anyway, come on in, Mrs. Overcomer. I know say you go share with me in a little bit. Come on in, madam.
Okay. So, Khadija, you're right when you said 5 types of hepatitis, the A, B, C, D, and E. But then you get A, where it can get from food, water, and then B is from sex and sharing needles, and the same thing with C. But with the other D and E, they're rare. But with the one that I want to focus on now, B and C, where I know say right now they kill young people in Sierra Leone, hepatitis B and then hepatitis C, where they get them from if you get sex with person.
1 second. I'm so sorry, ma'am. I really now regret why we not put the HIV or the AIDS, because that is another rampant stuff where we they take for granted in that country day. I regret it. So no, please add that to the list, please, because as we they talk about sexual transmitted disease, I do believe that we for add that to it as well. Come on in, madam. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So hepatitis B and C, where mostly now from sex, unprotected sex, not only sex, unprotected sex, and we know say the African man hates to wear a condom. That's a well-known thing. I mean, we are all adults now. So, and also, if they share needles, we see how they rise in drugs. And the young people then, young people then they use drugs now, they rise, it don't rise. So now the two most common ones then, where you get infected with hepatitis B and C, and then also with HIV, the same way, either from sex and or you share needles, or another way where I think say I don't know, because back then I don't know now if before they give somebody blood, then they actually test that blood before they just take from one person, they hand that to another person, because I know somebody was very close to me where he happened to them. He got born in a court stage. In brother-in-law gave blood. They just take from the brother-in-law, they hang up on him. Not knowing to say the brother-in-law was full-blown AIDS. He got full-blown AIDS.
That's a shame.
No long after that, the brother-in-law in West died from HIV, from AIDS. The brother-in-law said, go get tested, he get AIDS. And I told them before Sunday, he died. He said, die.
Could you, I don't hear a story back again. Do you, in that case, then be aware, say, it gets them?
No, the brother-in-law said, no be no.
Oh, no be no. Oh my God. So you see?
No be no say get them.
I don't hear a case is he from Kenyan? A Kenyan guy. It gets a female friend who gets the full-blown AIDS. It say the lady tell me about, maybe we're talking about 10 years ago. The lady fine maybe as you see him you go look for sick girl picking. It say but the lady refuse for tell the guys them where they deal with say they get HIV. So this is why it's so critical for the people to understand. Look at the example. That man in your case he be innocent, he don't know. Unfortunately, he was involved in unprotected sex. You understand? So now we imagine, say, if you don't even deal with maybe 5 people or 2 people, right? Those 5 people don't deal with other 5 or multiply to another 100, to another 1,000, to another 20. You understand? Many are out there exposed to it and not aware. So it is critical, it's vital that people take them thing they are so serious. And the other thing where they see, you hear the voice of, especially with African man them, they say, eh, bona lie, the denied. How critical is that? Bona lie, bo, this and that, they exist in Africa. How critical is that? Come on in, Mrs. Overcome.
So they're naive for say that. Because HIV, before I left for go solo, I've been the manager in HIV clinic here in America. You HIV person will get HIV or AIDS. You can never tell. Say this person is infected because the drugs are so good now. All you need take one pill a day. That's it. And you can live up to 80 years or more. In fact, I can tell people say HIV is easier for me for manage than person who get diabetes. Because if the HIV person they take in medicine, in viral loads don't suppress, I only need for that person they maybe every 6 months. Versus the person who get diabetes, where uncontrolled diabetes, where I will probably need for take I go able for control that diabetes, it will take me longer. So you know they tell the person the same thing with hepatitis. You know the science. Like earlier when we talk about the Ebola, we'll talk about the person. So everybody immune system different because we are all unique. Everybody is different. Even the person who not sleep now one belly, who not get different. Who not different. Everybody is unique. So it depends on the person immune system. So when some people there because they get strong immune system, it's not easy for them fall sick. So when you get infected like HIV, when you get infected initially, mostly what is some people they get now just a sore throat. It's again it's me throat react. Or I get cough, I get fever, the initial stage. And that stage then 90% is highly contagious. They call it the seroconversion. Already the virus converts you into your immune system. That person there at that time they is highly contagious. So if that person there they go sleep with other people then it just they give. Or somebody when not they take medication at all, in your immune system good, go down here to below 200 where will be the AIDS. In your immune system still good. The virus just they multiply in get them because you they get the virus in millions. It they grow in millions. Now the person in body. So if it gets up that the virus in viral load very high, it's easy for let it infect people there. So one thing or another way we can say again, maybe if you go, I don't know if now before I believe that we don't pass 10 stages then the way we hospital and then they pull one needle for one person and choke the other person. Or neither if you go to a dentist where then they do dental work, make sure say then sanitize the equipment then very well. Not take one equipment from one person, you use them for another person. So different, like I said, different ways the way person can get infected. With HIV, so we did the bundle them up now because of time. With HIV, with the hepatitis or the hepatitis B and C. But hepatitis B, where I know say I don't come on, this is preventable. I don't know waiting I the one that said this now the things that way with government and for they put money in. Because hepatitis B, hepatitis A, these are actually preventable. And if the person take vaccine, if they give vaccine, I don't know if they offer the vaccine they have to people then. Because we don't see people, the young people, then they sick, then they die from this when they're not supposed to die. If they're vaccine, then take the vaccine. So me I they appeal if we government they listen to this, I they appeal say let them reach out to United World Health Organization for see how we go able to probably these vaccines and make them available to we people then. Because I don't get so many calls them where young people then where don't die from hepatitis where they're not supposed to die. And what the hepatitis they do, the virus, now you liver. Now you liver now it they affect. Whereas HIV, now you see cells now it they affect. Excuse me.
It's okay.
Hepatitis now you liver. And waiting in the end, if you sick, it cause you forget liver cancer, cirrhosis of the liver. When you see some person that you see yala, as you see yala or you see when you go piece you see dark, or if you're not person where you dey get pain na you right side because we live there up na the right side up you right after you body down there na then you live a day. If you dey get pain there, go let them go check you. Go let them go check you because the only way they were able to diagnose hepatitis or even HIV now through blood. First they test you blood. Or maybe with hepatitis, it depends on the damage to the liver. If they do a CT scan of the liver, then see say you get cirrhosis of the liver. Okay, it's Mr. Chief Alhaji one for coming.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Well stated. I know you need a break, so drink a lot more fluid and get energized. Great one, Mrs. Overcomer. Come on in, sir. Come on.
I'm a feminist.
Just quick. Another hepatitis also alcohol. What you want to drink? Waku alcohol. You can have cirrhosis of the liver, hepatitis. Alcoholic. It's something so that not normal sex or by body. If you drink a lot of alcohol, that as well.
All right. Excessive drinking. Yeah. Come on in.
Thank you. God bless Khadija and Mrs. Overcome. Yeah, we guys like me tonight.
And you too.
So now, let us start from HIV.
The other man run away, so you now really the chief for tonight, man.
I have 12 women. So
that's right.
Let's look at the transmission chain of HIV.
Yeah.
I remember during the war, I think most of our sisters they get HIV. I don't want to name names, but I will just pick on some issue the way it go help for enlightenment. I hope say people that still to watch this. One of the areas of transmission, we get this domestic empathy or national empathy. Once you get accident, you would run go cover them to add them. That's a potential way of transmission. You're gonna fluid.
Yes.
You never blocks, you just go put here. Oh, this you don't or accident, road accident. You go somebody bleed, you go seek care recover. That's not a potential of transmission. That will stop. But that will always stop through enlightenment, education, awareness, say the Ministry of Health, engage problem, that a potential of that is common. Right? It's common. And again, also advise the government, all officers in work go by this international and peacekeeping mission. For me as a government, what I will do, we will test them for go, and when they can test them back. That's my way we will go for protect them, the military officers, and what the way they go for feds. And that's how they go. That's officially very fundamental. Not to test them before they left the country, and when they come out, test anything way campus supposed to come out, that person has to be isolated, treat them so that more protect the community. Very important. And another thing again, why I look at it, because what I'm studying law, I see one case in the UK where one Somalian guy, he was so bitter, he can't get HIV, but he get a true sexual intercourse from sleeping with one white lady. So what he do, he said he punished the white girls them. He slept with most of them. He did. It transmitted a lot of HIV to them. He do a willfully, so they charge him for gross harm. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. They sent him to life imprisonment. He was sent to jail. They try. He was HIV positive. They try him because he do it willfully. They sent him to prison. So let's look at that question. We get a lot of people in our salon or in Africa where they get him. They do him like say I return debt because this woman give me up. So I return debt. And get a lot of women there. You don't know say
so
it damage the country. It kill welfare of the country. So that's that thing way as anybody so that you don't get problem this one and next one. Because if you get sick, go seek help. No transmit that sickness. What people say, are they punish the community? Not the community offend you. If you get through in the midst of you trying to pleasure yourself, then they say you have to punish the country. That is bad. So I'm happy if people that watch this program may know say that's the highest form of evil because if you get sick, go sick help, right? So if one will protect to begin them, I feel say we'll go for try for engage them school, the hospital, everywhere across the country. And another thing that the one say more could try for, like I try for way is very, very key about oh God.
It's okay. I know. So you get a quick interruption. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, this person is calling me. Don't call me Engage Kadija here.
Yeah, but we can wrap up soon. Yes.
Yeah, I know. This hepatitis B, me don't suffer as a victim. Well, the brother way, my darling brother, me because I'm up. 2016. Even go to a Chinese hospital from BO, you don't get hepatitis B, would attack him and liver. I was even on the phone with the pastor in Akonot. I did everything for save her name. And I guess what I posted my friend I don't have to name names, but I just give you.
Yes. You can talk about that.
Because of this approach, this person, you can't see this sick here. Now he called me, say I get sick. He cry. Say they tell us they get out of 99%, you get 1% for survive. That's what happy. Now tell me that's okay. Now as I say, believe God nicely. I say well now, if you take medication for 1 year, if you're lucky, you will survive. If you don't lucky, just imagine 99%, you get 1% will survive.
Yes.
So I say the only thing I will do, I will see you through this process and me go fast for you because you go fast. I say go fast. I will pray for you. So he look me say people this police company. I say well, me believe God. I say
yes.
you don't believe.
I love that.
But I'll fight with you process. Let's see how to go. Khadija will lie, be lie, as she does so. She survived.
Oh yeah.
We get 1%. We survived. Yes, we did.
Oh,
we survived.
God is above everything.
I am we survived. Because they say he needs to turn part at the 11th hour. He said he don't time for check himself because he was injecting himself 9 belly. He said don't tire. Now you can't be tired. We have to push it. You can't tire at last minute. We don't do that for the past 10 months. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
So he said you know, no time for choke. Also don't die, man. I said keep injecting yourself. Say go to say she survived.
Oh, yeah.
This is one person too. I was fasting, I was praying, I was asking God. He survived. So they did. I go to the Asian doctor. I talk to her. I say me, I rely on that person, but God in power, this will go well. He says, the guy laughed. So when I went back one year later, he shook me and I said, I told you, what are we about to? So I don't want it. It's a day, but as Miss Overcome say, you go for sick help. They treat them like now. We get Kids College. They made up.
Yes.
Kids College. They treat them. And in Bokuna Salon, some they get on 2 water side. We get water side. Where they go today, but they don't know. You see, so now and again, what I'm going to do, what we do now, UK now. If you're sick, you go do blood test. They test you for HIV. They tell you. So let's start testing people. Whenever you go for blood testing for if you get HIV, there was somebody for treatment. Yeah. Now so we take for stopper. Yeah. Because if you go to blood test for just like green, or so just a blood test for malaria, more do HIV test by you.
Yeah. Yes.
We'll just check. Listen, you get HIV, you have to take treatment. It will care you or protect the environment. The community.
Yes.
So that's another way for doing.
And then consider so if you do your physical, not part of your physical, a yearly physical, where they go do all that and show you if you get even high cholesterol, they go tell you.
They tell you.
Yes. So I don't know. Yeah, I think that's a great suggestion. That's on the solution. Yes, excellent. Yes, Mrs. Overcome.
If I jump in, Khadija,
yes,
when the United States succeed in controlling them and disease airways and they transmit from person to person. When a new, let's say you live now, even if you then let's say for Ohio here, when one person will get a newly infected person, that person the moment where you test positive, that disease information is reportable to the Department of Health. Mm-hmm. Report that to the Department of Health. Even gonorrhea is reportable. Syphilis is reportable. You report them. malaria is reportable to the Department of Health.
So that would minimize the
So what did they happen when they report and say so person is test positive? The health department they call you. You will test positive. They call you. You come. If you better comply, and you better comply, because if you not comply, then will hunt you down. Now you oath. Now you job. Now, and if you want your privacy, so you better comply. Now you school anytime.
Yes.
Then they hunt you.
Good.
By law. So when they call you, they ask you, would I, how you feel say you get up? Or would I where you don't get sleep with in the last 6 months or 1 year? You they name them people they are. You name the people they give their names and their phone numbers. So what in the health department they do, them call them people they are. When they call them, then they say tell the person say, oh, this Mr. X don't test positive for HIV, or if all you say when I be get sex, then for HIV. So you say for come. No.
So that's where the confidentiality can be placed.
No, that's not. Then you up. Then they call you. They call you. They say, Mr. Soso and Miss Soso, we have reason to believe that you've been exposed to HIV or whatever. You've been exposed. So we need you to come and test.
Okay.
When you ask, would I expose to? No, we not reveal that information there to you.
Wow.
You go, yes. You go test. So now, America succeed for that. So once you get test positive, then put you in the database. Unless if common you go California, you then another database day. If you go California, then test you back California, no say you're not a newly infected person.
Okay.
You then another database day. So then that person there where you don't get test with, then they can test for the test that day. After 1 month, then test back after 6 months, because sometimes when you get the virus, they show immediately. Remember when I talk about the seroconversion, they take about 90 days to let the virus come back. So it takes that length of time. So when that person yesterday you go get sex with somebody who get HIV, you go test the next day. No, you not go show positive. Or you go test 2 days after. No, you not show positive. Because the virus not converted to your immune system. So now if you test that day, then test you 1 month after, then test you 6 months after. And then you free. If you test negative all them 3 times there, then you free to go. So then left you.
So that would be an example, like some of us where they're working at the medical healthcare sector. Let's say person they treat a patient where they're exposed to that, then stick themselves with the needle. They can keep up with them for at least a year for checking them for make sure say they're not exposed to that whatever disease they get. I guess that would be an example, eh?
Yes.
Come
so
on.
You detect the reason why you detect that day, you detect the liability of you just for say, look, I wasn't, because at that very day when you test, you should say you're negative. That should say I wasn't infected, or I'm not just trying to lie on this person that this person give me.
Yes.
They can lie. Say, so now that makes then they test you that day. Or should say you not get anything. Then test you for the HIV, then test you for hepatitis and all of that.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So that way they America take for controller. Now so they take for controller. So because then they follow Huda, you don't get them, follow them people, then they say, make sure say, and if them people, then anybody will test positive, then they make sure say you come for treatment.
So
come for treatment.
So we go agree say that man or woman where they waka waka, no, just put on that way they obviously then gets higher chance for
Yes,
compromise their health, correct?
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yes, sir. I know say chief one coming, eh? You don't know
No, honestly,
Yeah, I don't know.
yes.
listen, I'm not just a spectator now. At least from now.
Well, I think say we don't actually address the major parts.
Absolutely.
So the solution is try for make you always stay abstinent. People that go disagree if you can.
Yes. Use condom. Use condom.
For the one that we that's your own.
Yes.
Okay.
Use condom. Use condom. And then if you already you know say you get the virus, whether not HIV, you get HIV. I know say the organization will be work with you. They get about 2 clinics in Sierra Leone. Then they give you free medication.
Okay.
Then get clinic in Awatalo, then get another one where they by Kinama Road. Then they give free medication. If you take your medication faithfully, if you take your medication faithfully, what did they happen? It they decrease the virus, it decrease your viral load, where they give you only 4% chance for passing it to another person. That means 96% of the time you know they're able, once your viral load go undetected, you cannot transmit it to another person.
Excellent point. So I go give.
You cannot.
Yeah, I go bring another.
If you don't take your medication.
Wonderful. I will bring another example where they talk about some people the immune system very strong and then can able resist. In the example of Magic Johnson and his wife, say they may detect time of having the disease, but the wife be negative. So in that case of suggestion condom, if you married, unfortunate thing like that don't happen to that husband, where at that time be get no business for go sleep out, you go to trouble, but God guide the woman. She be laughing. God guide the woman where not being succumb to the disease. So I guess in that case, you go suggest condom for protect the woman for the rest of their life, correct?
Yes.
And then back up with
you will use condom, and then you get other medications the way you they take, like Truvada. You woman they take Truvada. If you take Truvada, you know say you put now I know say the COVID there you get for Truvada when I have the first drug. Truvada, if you they take you partner, you know say your partner positive, you they take Truvada.
Oh wow.
You cannot be infected.
Oh, so the woman get for take like a prophylactic type of thing.
Yes.
For the rest of your life. For the rest of your life.
Yes, you cannot be infected.
So that will be like on a daily basis the person get for taker.
Yes, you take a 1 pill a day. You cannot be infected.
Then in a headache that man go touch for that woman.
Yeah, but then
honestly,
like, this is like HIV, this I want for throw this in for people that when they get anal sex. Because I know say that day we'll get people that when say alone way then you get sex male to male or even female. I remember I had a patient. And that patient, this time they manage that clinic, and that patient, the patient na Liberia. He say, I asked him if he did not ever get anal sex with any woman. He said, oh, when go Africa, he said, he's surprised. The woman where he met with the woman say he not going to be satisfied until they get anal sex.
Hey.
And the anus is very rich in blood vessels. It's very rich in blood vessels. So, and the anus was never made for sex. So, because of that friction there, the anus is not acidic as the vagina. The vagina, okay, we all adults when they listen to this. The vagina is acidic. Why are the anus are acidic? And then you get very rich blood cells and day. So, during that friction there, when that cells and day is like that. It's easy. So you go say part of what he said Magic Johnson in West.
Yes.
Because they know they get anal sex, then you get the vagina acidic, so it go take time for less. You get because acid, whatever acid there, it destroy whatever. You can't survive in there. But that don't mean say they get through vaginal sex. They still get that. if the vessels they break also.
Yeah, but it slow down the chance.
So
The
for
process.
people that when they get sex, anal sex, it's very, very easy for them to be infected.
So this now a man gets the experience with a woman back home in Liberia.
Back home, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So from there now
Yes.
he catch the HIV.
Oh yes, he
Oh
was
my
positive.
God.
Yes.
So what's in he been single or he been married?
I can't.
Oh. No, because one if not, guys go catch up. Where sign up for they go put on there. You see?
What about this? What about this? Yeah, and I was, when you tell me that, I've been shocked because I still say the African women, we know they have a zip for that. That I know say we African women, but things don't change. The culture don't change. People they watch TV, they watch videos of the sea. Everybody they copy everything waiting they happen. We know they copy the good things. We they copy the bad ones them as well.
Yeah.
So when I tell them, I say I'm kind of surprised because the African woman know they allow that for happen to her. Oh, now I say, oh my God, he say you not going to even believe. He say me tell be shocked when he tell me that.
Wow. So like okay.
He say I'm shocked.
So, but him be able to survive it, they take the medicine now and move on with
his life. He don't take the medicine. But then that tells you again. Let me give you another example of how the African men again promiscuous. We get a patient, an African patient, he get him, but he not telling where. Now, he not telling where say he get him, and then get a little boy. When I be that day, I remember when he didn't go for your appointment picking, one time he didn't go picking at school and go. And you know, American picking and smart thinking read. So when they go to picking again, read, waiting, waiting in at the clinic. Next stop for care, not care the picking go there again. But what picking they do, instead of he taking medicine gonna off, he they taking medication, if they don't receive an at the clinic, he keep an motor car.
Wow.
So the woman not ever they see medicine.
Yes.
The woman not ever know, not tell the woman. By the time when the woman can't sick, when you can't go, then can't go hospital. Young lady, this woman, it come. He died from this thing.
Oh
the woman,
God.
he killed this woman.
Oh God.
He killed her.
That is wicked.
Young, yeah.
That is wicked. That is so wicked.
Then four small young people. Then they now without mama.
That's
and guess what? He don't go marry another woman.
Maybe that one day Seth not gonna know.
No, yeah.
I got sorry for you.
You know they so yeah. I been so angry with her. Why did you do this? You killed this woman. You killed this woman.
And what's not being respond?
Yeah, they say, oh, it's the surgery. Because HIV they have when you get in the AIDS position, they affect your brain. So when it begin affecting brain, the woman begin to make less he kind of head mix up. They go do surgery. And then they say, oh, it's the surgery. Oh. I say, you kill this woman. You they take medication. Then when you don't tell and say, okay, you know what? You said take medication.
Yes.
This they go on. But you infect her, you they take medication, they take medication, he end up dying.
So sad. So sad. So let's wise up. And we get so many other health topic we'll get for the bring toiner. Anything else where in I want add in a please do so before I give in a last statement. Come on in, Miss Alhaji. Come on in, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think I learned a lot from you, from Madam Ubacom. This is great. This all, in a nutshell, it talk about the country welfare, the country health. If your country not well, no problem. And HIV, it really kill people as alone, and it do them in a way where most of it they happen in isolation. And then they talk, and the campaign. The time I think in the 80s, the 90s, early 90s, yes, the campaign be so great. But I don't know if you still carry on. And also I can go on. I can see hospital the way they put the signs there. Only for create that platform for enlightened for brothers. But let's use the media. More to go to school them, even this family life education, classes. More tell you can't kill them, talk to them about the impact. And for those tell the man them we most of the majority of the carriers tell us the duty we get for protect the human liquids. Because if that don't happen, this thing, we expose the country to danger. Because I know see this thing, I know special support are during the war, and we'll get a lot of foreign forces and kind of salute. They really cause problem. Yes, so that really cause a lot of problem. No, I know because most of them they will go across other parts of the world for where we be peacekeeping force. So they count and we can't be picking them.
Oh.
And we know it's in danger.
Yeah, God.
That particular, yes. That particular, another purpose. Then get that. Then get them.
These guys, they people picking them like $100 or $200 for sleeping them. And Salon, the war, Timmy, stronger.
So
they
wicked.
They give $200 because they are paying them in dollars. And the dollars will flow and
people are wicked, man.
They are wicked. So, and say go because of poverty, go stupid. So, but we will destroy life. So that's what the team will be the spread. You see, that's what will be the spread. See, some of we God help we, protect we. But it's there, but we need for educate, we need for, as I say, we brought this we go, especially like East Africa. Therefore, do them blood test, for go, and for can get back. So that if anything happens, protect. Because if we don't protect the military force, it won't support trouble happen. Now that fight for we. So we must protect them. We must test them, both male and female. When they go, test them. When they come, test them back. Must see. In fact, we test them in the next 6 months when they come. Must see if they come any traceable disease, protect, cure them because now they protect me. So also for protect them before any problem happen.
Absolutely.
So I know. I mean, I know a lot is how the thing will happen because during the war, we don't embargo, money no day, people struggle, and you see picking them so exposed to danger. The dollar, not to lose, the dollar may pay them. So that was part of the epitome of the transmission. May God help the country. May God make government all day, and if your government for take the issue about mental health, about this hepatitis B, and any other illness or facing in the country. I know that this Chinese hospital, my brother will be get this care. You go to this Chinese hospital. Okay, just because one process for just do test. 2 million euros happy, 2 million euros just one day.
Wow.
So when the guy do the test, what's it come on? The diagnosis is Hepatitis day. So how will we interpret it? Hepatitis day. Chinese day. You see, how will we interpret it? You see, you're gonna call us now. It was too late for him. You see, so we try to invest per medical. We have to invest per medical. Usually, the way this Ebola did not do also. More try to be proactive. Let's stand up and start see what we could do. Therefore, invest in medical. Very important, Khadija. So I feel say me final goodbye to the audience. Them. I'm happy to raise my day. So I'm happy to be here. And tomorrow, maybe look up to me article I write about mental health in Sierra Leone for say me at the take amount. I mean, a flagship policy for me. And I take a personal. I gave the reason why I was set up later, and the success one. And I encourage people like Madam Overcome for volunteer, for go to counseling. If you get a sister in England, Europe, America, if you go holiday, una volunteer, una go to counseling for una brothers and sisters with the mental health issues. You see, if you volunteer on help, you are doing like a national service in the helping country. So like what for our president say, President Kennedy. Say don't ask what you can do for those.
What you can do for your country. Yes.
But this are part of national service. When I go, when I volunteer, when I can make a team of nurses. We have nurses say, now this Christmas we go salon, we go engage the health minister, although sometimes they put barriers. And first when them go, they give them money for go treat brothers them. They know it's not a volunteer purpose. So the health minister itself make it easy for them, for good counseling, for give other advice them what they help. Like what you do, but also so if people listen away know what HIV, so that they don't learn. If they know the hepatitis, how you get up, they don't learn. For those if you take tablets, it help you, they don't learn. You see, these are little things where they make difference. So may they create that platform for allow brothers and sisters them with them train there, where they go make them volunteer and help not only fit out, make them go upland as well. Because HIV don't get barriers. It doesn't. It don't get barriers. So make them go there, hospital across the country and then make them volunteer. So I feel say me as a leader, Khadija, I will pay key attention on mental health. Thank you very much.
Thank you as well. Thank you. Come on in, Mrs. Overcomer. Your last statement,
okay.
Madam.
I think that last word for tonight. We leadership, we government for learn from other countries, then we don't succeed in controlling HIV in the country, like the East African countries, them, South Africa, then countries, then you hardly hear say person die from HIV or AIDS now. Because why? The people have been educated, they support. If somebody then gets HIV in the family members and they support the person for let take medication, encourage them, support them for let it take medication. So HIV not the kill so now the country. The people have been educated because before they get to that point there, I remember I get a colleague where they tell me, he said there was a time where he said HIV wiped out a whole village. Everybody in that village, they said everybody died from HIV AIDS. Nada or complications of AIDS. Nada village day. So, but they don't educate, the government don't spend money. So now the people they know what it means, where they know how for say important for use condom, how for the virus they transfer and all that thing again. So I think that we government for copy then governments then countries then they. Then secondly, like what Alaji Chief say about us volunteering. The government for provide a platform for encourage a lot. You get a lot of Sierra say we don't go out, we don't come out, we don't study, we don't learn a lot. I remember the first thing I begin work in the hospital, somebody be with one patient code. One patient code now we add. Literally this patient died. This patient died. But when we came together, we did CPR, push some medications. This person come back, he lived. So I was like, wow, we don't get this in Sierra Leone. How many times you see, then they say somebody, he just complain in church, they ask him, but people don't know what to do. He just complains, come on, CPR. People don't know what to do for say, where this person for them, so he complains in chest, they ask him, pumping chest for him. Pumping chest, he had. Pump that chest, they say, open your mouth, open the end, slip the end back, blood breathe my mouth, like 2-3 times. You pumping chest, stay that person there, he can't go back. So we don't know those things. So I think that the government will create platform where for encourage people that we don't come out, we don't learn, for go back and let we be part of this process. For help, we country for build because healthcare, a broken healthcare system now we get. For that we help for building that healthcare system they come up. So tonight, me on last word na in the to plead to the government. Let them put money into the healthcare system. Let them put money, focus on them. Because if everybody sick, like I said, like what happened na Kenya, where this is a whole village, people they die, and like what they happen so now. Young people in their 20s, they die from hepatitis B, something was preventable. It's not supposed to happen. So tonight, I hope say all what we don't discuss, people will take up, them will learn from that, and we will go move forward. And I believe a lot of people say they are open to going out and volunteering for volunteer, putting some hours for build with system. I believe that there are people who will jump. They will jump at the idea to say, okay, that we create this platform for encourage people then, for let them come for build up. Because now we get that. Now we get for do up. Now we get for do up. Not so wait man get for come do up. We set it because we understand we issues them. We understand the problems and waiting. We understand the way we they think. How people then they think. We understand. So now we get for do this one. So for me, I would say thank you very much. Khadija, for inviting me, for giving me, I am humbled, and for giving me this opportunity tonight for be part of this. Thank you, and thank you, Chief, for the USSF contribution. Thank you. And thanks everybody to everybody where they listen. And God bless we all. God bless you.
God bless you, Mr. Overcome. God bless you. You don't inspire me tonight. God bless you. I hope the government listen to it. Please, this is very important. What you don't say tonight.
Yes. Excellent. It has been an awesome couple hours. I enjoyed every bit of it. I don't learn from it as well. Thank you guys so very much for contributing to not only the Republic of Sierra Leone but to the world at large. We get to do this over and over again. And Mrs. Overcome, this is home for you. We get a lot of things that we'll get to address. I enjoyed every bit of it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Salute.
You're welcome anytime.
Yes, I did take a break. Then by the time I come, then don't go. Then I will give me last closing statement. And I thank you.
I praise you, tell you thank you now.
You never leave me, you never forsake me.
All the things you do for me, tell you thank you now.
Even when the times get hard, but you still stand by me.
All right, we are back. I want to take this opportunity once again and tell the two fine panelists them plenty thank you. I had a wonderful time with Mrs. Overcome and as well as Mr. Chief Alhaji Tonkla. Thank you guys so much. We're going to do this over and over and over again. I enjoyed it to the max. And I do believe that Mr. Badamasi Biwan come, but unfortunately, it will be done already. So given the obvious of in time, usa a day, it was pretty early, so he might have overslept, and understandable because he has always been reliable. But today, we're not going to judge him because of today. I want to also tell him plenty thank you, and we go look forward for a join with the next time around. Thank you so much to each of you at the chat room for in a time when I take, in a contribution when I take, in a please let's put all necessary precaution in effort to save lives. Where we don't know about the Ebola outbreak in Guinea, no taken seriously as that of when it be happened 2014. I seen I know anything with come on Liberia, Guinea, it's a slim chance when they come over they're gonna make that not be the case. So now we make sure say we put all necessary precaution in place. Also, everything else where the other panelists that don't talk, we don't share today, we don't learn from each other. I learned a lot from them as well. I enjoyed the conversation. It flows so well. Thank you guys so much once again. Until next time, this is Salon for All and Voice for All Network Television. I am your host, Khadija Tijan Nabi. May God bless we all. God bless the Republic of Sierra Leone. God bless the Republic of Sierra Leone. God bless the Republic of Sierra Leone, United States of America, United Kingdom, and everywhere where Sierra Leonean find himself. Until next time again, say bye. Welcome to Salon for All and Voice for All Network Television.